Hello, internet peeps. This has been a hot minute since we've done a Daggerheart session. Though, if anyone has watched those previous two videos, we've kind of had some people leave the group. You know, they had personal stuff to take care of, so we have three new players, a potential fourth potential in the future. So, you all have probably heard of our original two players. Go ahead and say hi, Echo and Ricor.
Howdy,
Hello.
howdy.
And we have three new players. Go ahead and say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hey there.
Thank you. You definitely understood the assignment when I said say hi, guys. That's the exact same stuff my other group does. All the freaking time. Anyway, yeah, welcome to Daggerheart. This is a playtest, but we intend it to be a more narrative, story-based, longer campaign. We are currently in version 1.4. I'm not going to be too much a stickler for everybody to change everything the second there's a change. However, if it's easy enough, I definitely want us to change our rules accordingly, you know, to make sense for new versions. But if there is something you all as players feel like, man, I really wish they kept it this way, we could still run with that, right? If it was an earlier version and you feel like a newer version kind of ruined it, we don't have to get rid of it. So just know that if someone decides not to change, that's okay. I'm very loosey-goosey with my stuff, though I will intend to kill you all as the GM. But also, I am cheering for you constantly. Like, I want you to win and follow my plot hooks and beat your arcs to your own backstories. You know, I'm excited. But I will try to kill you. When it's involved, but not all the time. So
Comforting to know.
yeah.
Not if I kill you first.
We're gonna do a kill the GM campaign. Is that what this is leading to?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like it. I'm for it.
This is a great start. It is clearly GM versus players, not together. From last we left off, Raycor and Echo and Lyre, Mork and Haas. They've had a entanglement with a mind-bending stone that was also manipulating a bunch of flower-like creatures in the area that appeared to have a vampiric, or really a thirst for blood. Whether that's vampiric or just cannibalistic, you're not sure. Maybe they like meat, who knows. But after that, due to players going missing, we'll just summarize this story with they went to locate where the Lord Stone had fallen. Having no luck, but instead Echo finding a number of notes as someone was recently there and they left in a hurry, knowing someone was approaching. Echo and Raycor went back to Shield Garden, a major city just north of the Herdsdale Woods, as Raycor was tracking the static, electric, kind of magical sense that the Lordstone itself was leaving. Going all the way to the city, they lost track of it, but began to seek the help of apothecaries and others to hospitalize Mork and Haas, as they were in a catatonic state after those strange stone they had destroyed that was controlling those vampiric plants. Not sure what to do, whatever they attempt has seemed to have little to no effect on the catatonic state they're in, the apothecaries decided they will take them under the wing and do the best they can and try to nurse them back to health. But there is no guarantee when they will recover. In that time, they began to research information or simply just prepare for a journey ahead, but unsure of where the journey will take them. Lyrae did not come with them back to Shield Garden. Lyrae stayed in the Herdsdale Woods, feeling that the forest itself needed to be nursed back to health due to its the corruptive bleed from the Lordstones. A bleed being a magical kind of a magical essence that's being seeped from these orbs called Lordstones and changing the landscape and creatures around it for better or for worse. Now, within Shield Garden, within 2 to 3 weeks' time, different individuals have arrived. Billy, a Furbolg druid, who arrives from his distant home to the east, but arrives here in the western part of Yondair in Shieldgarden. Perhaps through curiosity, or perhaps there is another objective he has in mind. For the audience, Billy, would you like to describe your character? I know we've had you describe your character 3 times already.
Billy is a 6'4" furbolg who looks like a muscular, bulky cow. He has white fur with black patches and onyx eyes. His clothes are often tattered and dirty. And that's about it for him.
Alright. As we see this Furbolg enter the city, looking at the structures around him in curiosity and also just an inquisitive nature, kind of just eyeing things, eyeing the people around him, we move over to the port side of Shield Garden, which it is known as a port city. And coming off of a ship, we see 2 more individuals. A ribbit and a sea urchin-like humanoid, which for you players watching is taking the Galapa kind of racial stats. Who would like to describe the character first?
I'll go first, as I'm taller. Your eye would probably be drawn to Quilbert first. The first thing you notice about Quilbert would be the giant head that's a sea urchin. It's very spiky, but the rest of him is very humanoid, except the sea urchin part is just the head, is the sea urchin, and then down the back, the quills keep going. But he dresses very much like a sailor. He just came off the boat, and you can tell that he's very used to being a sailor. He also is very timid in how he holds himself, and is looking down to this little ribbit, very nervously, but looking for confirmation.
Alright. And let's let our ribbit describe themselves. Hello?
As this 2-foot tall, 1-inch ribbit steps up beside Quilton, he looks up and says, "Let's go, Fuzzy." He is he is very small. Looks to be blue and green poison dart frog. Uh, look to him. He walks with a bit of an odd clatter to him. Um, but for the most part, strapped to his back is a dagger that he kind of uses more of a sword. And we'll say for right now, he has a red scarf, or not scarf, wow, uh, necktie, or not necktie. What is that thing? An ascot? Just kind of bandana
An ascot.
wrapped around his neck. That has the black embroidered filigree of a lotus
Ooh.
on it.
What
And he
color
says,
is the color of their eyes, by the way, Quilbert and Krolls?
Roll's eyes are a bit a darker green, kind of swampy green, um, with obviously the black toad or black frog pupil.
Wilbert has big gray eyes, but the gray eyes are the same color as the spines, so you can just kind of see the little white ring around his pupil in the center.
All right. And thus are our two others, leaving a ship, a merchant vessel of sorts, entering the city of Shield Garden. Now, these individuals have eventually met with Raycor and Echo in various little minor circumstances. A little issue at an inn here, a little conversation there. Within the time, slowly our group of five here begun to meet and speak about their... Some of them open, some of them not. Sometimes maybe they feel like they're openly speaking or are hiding a lot. It depends. Who knows what they know? Who knows what the player characters have revealed? However, we're going to move at the end of the 3 weeks. You all are in a... You're not in an inn necessarily. You're kind of in like a... It's kind of like a mess hall, but it's not an indoor one. It's kind of an outdoor structure. There's a small structure that has like people cooking food and whatnot and preparing food and bringing it out, and it's like an outdoor restaurant in a way. There's this large like walled off encirclement with a single gate that kind of people who work at the establishment let people in, but it's like a circular courtyard with a single structure on the side that's where the cooks and food gets cooked. You all are at one of the various round tables that kind of dot this courtyard, and one by one, if you eat or have ordered, are given a plate full of food. I would like to know who ordered food and what's on it.
Give me a best local cuisine. I am hungry. Whatever is a good staple here.
Oh yeah, well, right away. This
Make that too.
Very well. By the way, the restaurant, this place, is called the Gilded Haven. This orc who's taking your orders hears that. All right, 2 specials. And what about the rest of you? Looking to the other 3 who have not ordered yet.
Echo's just kind of looking around and kind of people watching, but she looks up. She's like, "Oh, I don't eat or drink." Good.
Of course. Sorry, don't get many of your kind around here.
I'll get a cod. Do you have fried codfish?
Well, yes, that can be easily arranged.
Thank you.
What about you?
I'll take your heartiest meat and something strong to drink.
Very well.
Oh yeah, strong to drink. I want a strong drink as well.
Right on it. I will return shortly with your food. I will say you.
Gilbert
you
looks down
pay
at.
a handful of little coins that you had for free. No one has to deduct from anything. We'll say you started with an extra. Go ahead.
Oh, Gilbert looked down at Kroll and just thinking about how much alcohol that little ribbit can take.
He seems he seems to have a big grin on his face for getting he's a tourist and he's excited for the local fair.
All right. So, for those of you, which I believe is Kroll and Billy, who ordered the special, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Here is the special. The orc pulls out a plate, and it looks like you see this weird. You see this red like meat on a plate, which you assume is like some sort of like basic meat from a cattle or type of creature, but it has like these weird like pink veins going through it, and it's not like pink like raw. It's like it's like a weird layered texture. It's something you may never have seen before, or actually, perhaps someone does. Billy, if you wish to make a check.
What kind of check would that be?
Well, in this case, this would be like an intellect check to recall if this is something you know about. The plate has other things. It has like various vegetables and also, but they're assorted differently and they have a certain spice to them. There's
Are they more like roots, like carrots, or are they more like
they're more
carrots, potatoes?
they are a little bit more like carrots and potatoes. But
Okay.
there's also like a side of like these weird berries, and when he put it on there, he took one berry and squished it onto the red meat, like the
Okay.
juices out of it.
That check would be a 15 with fear.
15 with fear. All right, we're gonna start off giving me a fear, but that is a success. Maybe it's because you're not quite sure at first, and that's where the fear comes from. But as you look at it, it comes from a creature called a staghawk. It's a weird elk-like creature that has kind of like it's almost like it's a stag with like griffin-ish features, eagle features. So it
I
appears like a
love it.
stag, but with a beak, and it has wings. But it also has antlers that kind of curl back.
Oh, this is great. On my way here, I was trying to catch one of these, but they are fast.
Yeah, I imagine the fear comes in the initial thought of it because you've never seen it prepared this way.
Yeah.
But after realizing what it is, you feel much better. People hunt staghawks because, unlike, a normal stag, these things are very aggressive, even towards humanoids when they see them, and can hunt. And they are solo hunters. So they feel pretty confident they can take down whatever prey. So the fact that people are hunting them goes to show it's like hunt versus predator kind of a game.
Now I'm kind of imagining him like, oh yeah, I saw one of those. I tried to hunt it. It dive bombed me.
It was too fast. It hit me from the left and then the right. Had to get out of there.
But yeah,
Vicious things.
but Billy, you've had staghawk steak before.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Kroll probably is already stuffing it into his mouth.
Does he like use his tongue? Does he kind of do the
No.
Yoshi thing? Blip.
No,
Okay.
I'm not giving you that. No.
Very well.
No, but he does kind of he can't really he frog mouth kind of almost swallows the whole thing whole before is it on like a skewer or bone or anything?
There is like a bone to it, yeah.
He basically pops either half or most of the piece in his mouth. Looks like he's chewing for a little bit before just spits out the bone and swallows the meat. The bone
Okay.
is almost immaculately clean.
Kroll is a
Oh, you sure had an appetite.
Well, yeah. I've been on a boat for. I'm just excited for the new cuisine here, so. It's good stuff.
Alright. You'll see Raycor, the plate you have in front of you is also the similar staghawk steak, but it doesn't have any like special seasoning or special things cooked onto it. But it is a hearty meat that's put in front of you, and you are given a, what's it called here? I think I'm just gonna come up with it on the spot. Runeberry ale.
I'm assuming that's what he gives Kroll to.
Oh yeah, and for you, Kroll, this thing is like, they're big mugs, so it's like half your height.
This, my friend, is a pint.
It comes in pints.
Guess you won.
I want one.
Kroll, be careful not to drown in that.
That's all you hear.
Yep, he's already pretty much face in it. He's drinking before he lets out a long sigh. Good stuff.
And of course, Quilbert. You ordered just a large cod to be cooked as the meal. Was there anything else? I've already forgotten. If you've ordered,
That was it.
that was it.
It's just quietly eating and watching.
Yeah. You see them eating this particular food, but being someone who's used to eating, whatever's fished, being on, the sea for multiple days, including, plenty of fish and other seafood is cooked here within Shield Garden, being it's a port city. So yeah, it's not necessarily a cod, but it is similar. It's a pretty big looking fish. It feels thin at first, but it's this weird fish that once you begin cutting into it, it almost looks like the meat expands a little bit when exposed to air. But it's
something,
grilled.
and it is very good. Filbert's very used to it, so he's not as adventurous to try something new in towns. He just likes to keep things the same and enjoy his fish.
And what is Echo thinking as she watches her compatriots all just digging in and eating food?
I think she's she's got a notebook and she's kind of jotting notes down about people and, like I said, people watching a lot, how they act, how they're dressed. Because this is still largely such a strange time for her. Plus, just being out around people is new. So I think it's a lot less about paying attention to food and drink and more just paying attention to
the people.
who is. Yeah.
Yeah, you're seeing this little over 2 foot tall ribbit just quickly inhale the food and spit out the bone effectively, and also take this big mug of alcoholic beverage and just downing it. You're used to what Raycor eats, so I imagine Raycor is not the one you're jotting notes about as much, because you've known Raycor longer than the other new ones, but you're definitely observing. I would say that you're jotting interesting notes about all of them, about their behaviors, but definitely the ribbit is like the most exaggerated due to like the size and manners that he's eating a plate that's like as big as he is sometimes. As you finish your meal, Raycor,
Yes.
would you have been, within the week's time when you're not engaging with your fellow compatriots, been working with Echo to kind of figure out where this person went?
Oh, absolutely.
Very well.
Especially if, we're back north for that reason, I would imagine. Well, northwest, but still.
We're going to rewind to a situation maybe a few days ago when you began conversing, you and Echo, both of you, conversing with your new compatriots about the situation, about the circumstance. So, 2 days ago, similar situation, sitting at a table, maybe in a different inn somewhere.
So then these bitey little pellets came up and they started chewing on us.
Seen any plants like that?
Did not like them.
I certainly have not in my travels. They seem to be under the influence of this stone. We went. We didn't even plan on this encounter. It kind of all happened because of some type of mystical influence that overtook a couple of our party members.
Sounds
Yeah.
intriguing.
The whole thing is just very frustrating, especially knowing now from the notes that it was all experimentation.
Whoever it was is making use of Lordstone magic to test something. I don't know to what end, but
No offense to you, Echo, but it was probably some wizard messing with stuff they should not.
as they do.
I am noticing a large uptick in wizards not minding their own business.
As am I.
I blame the lack of a library for them to hole up in. I need to find that book.
We still don't know what happened to the researchers that we were out looking for.
And your friends, there was no change at all?
No improvement.
Hmm.
As much as it pains us, we had to leave them with healers to see if they could do something more. We exhausted our abilities to help them ourselves.
I guess that's for the best.
I only hope the researchers, if we do find them, haven't suffered the same fate. If they have, though, they could still be somewhere being controlled by whoever started this.
Certainly.
It would explain the lack of bodies anywhere.
I certainly hope they're not a part of this. That would also be another explanation.
They.
True. A much more unfortunate one.
And so, with that little 2-day flashback of the conversation, we'll say that it is all rather summarized, but you all had the conversation about it, and whether for personal reasons or merely to assist these new companions, the three of you have Billy, Quilbert, and Kroll have decided to aid them in perhaps that. But I would like to know if you ask anything of them. Is there anything you reveal? Well, they revealed their tale as of late. Is there any tales the three of you share with them?
I'd probably be pretty upfront about the fact that I'm nervous I might be on the run.
Might be? Are you not sure you broke the law?
Well,
On?
you see, there just might be someone upset with me. I didn't stay to check if he was upset with me. So, the
Quilbert,
dangerous
what
guy,
did
but
you
I hope he's not mad at me. That'd be bad.
do? What did you do?
Nothing.
Hmm.
I mean, I didn't do anything, but my old captain, he did something, and I'm associated with him. You know how it goes.
Quilbert, I have no understanding of how it goes, but I will trust you for the time being.
Yeah, so just so you know, if I'm gonna be coming along and helping, which I would love to do, just if you don't want me to, because I might bring trouble, that's just so you know.
What kind of trouble?
Danger? Like a guy coming.
We've already been dealing with danger. What is the root of this danger?
A guy with a sword?
That I am not worried about.
Okay. As long as you think you can take it with your whatever you've got going on.
Compared to a soccer ball with twisted destruction, I feel like a sword thing's not that bad. I'll take a guy.
Very much agreed, Echo.
Much of Kroll and Quilbert. I mean, not Quilbert. Kroll and Billy. Any tales or things about yourselves you would like to speak about?
I think Kroll is still walking his dog.
Right, because he's 2 feet tall. It takes a while.
Yeah. I would imagine he probably rides on the dog's back.
And that's the issue.
Probably. I don't know how much control he could have over said dog.
Yeah, the walk is over when the dog says it's over.
About the only thing Billy would probably tell him at this early stage is maybe about his adventures. Like, on the way over here, I crossed this giant mountain and saw all kinds of weird animals I'd never seen before. If I knew it was this interesting out here, I would have left the village a long time ago and keep talking and stuff like that until he realizes people are ignoring him or somebody interrupts him.
Oh, so he kind of just rants about
Yes.
his journeys. I'm gonna come up with 4 creatures on the spot that you probably would have seen that have been prevalent. You have probably seen giants. Luckily, not the dangerous ones. You probably have met one up in the mountains somewhere. Just a big, oh, hello there. You probably have seen something called scale drakes, which are basically, they're draconic-like creatures, but they don't have wings. They blend into rocky surfaces, and they are known to hunt in packs. Another predator-type creature. You probably have tangled or escaped from them before. Another thing would be in some of like the more woodland areas, you probably have seen a. Why not? Let's go Tolkien lore. A weeping willow. You've seen them back home. These trees will put people to sleep underneath them and then kill them. So you've seen a few of them. You went, I'm not going to go anywhere near that. I kind of like you're friendly with nature, kind of like, I know what you're trying to do there.
I see through your tricks. You will not fool me today.
And something weird you'll see. You hear, I'm gonna say you've seen them described like the flower creatures. They're like these weird little, it's like the Mario piranha plant. And they have red flowery petal-like forms, and the red flower parts of them glow. You've seen one of those. Just after you pass the mountains, and you're on your way to Shield Garden, you came across one, and it was trying to bite at you ravenously, but it was a small little thing.
Ow, 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 ow.
Yeah, so whether you dispatched it or you just simply detained it until you were away from it and then let it loose, up to you.
Upon them telling me about their plants, I would have told them, on my way up here, I did come across a plant like that. Not exactly what you described, but something like that. It was by itself. It kept trying to bite my ankle. I just gave it a wide berth and walked past.
Oh, and this thing too, it wasn't rooted in the ground. It was uprooted and moving.
Oh, in that case, that's just outran it.
Outran it? Yeah.
Wasn't worth it.
Till it stopped
Whacked
chasing.
it with the bonk stick.
All right.
The ones that we fought, were those rooted in the ground?
They uprooted as well.
Yeah, they were coming at us.
I remember them coming at us. I just couldn't remember if they did it through like a root system or if they were just up and after us.
It's possible that they grew and had roots, but they're able to uproot and move themselves. So it's possible they do plant until something nearby is potential, from what you were gathering, probably to eat or drink blood.
Hmm.
With the teeth, there's no way to really drink blood, so you imagine it's more of like eating a corpse. And whatever blood seeps through, the roots drink deep.
And Billy, how long ago did you come through?
You said we've been in this town for about 3 weeks now?
Yes.
About 4 weeks ago.
Oh, so it would have been the same time. It's not like we
So-
could have discovered the new location of the where it was taken then.
Yeah, it would have been, if he said 4 weeks ago, that would have been like 2 days before you destroyed that stone and found those flower creatures. So Billy would have met the one single creature first on his way to Shield Garden before you completed that fight.
Was it in a similar area or was it like miles and miles?
They talk about that they were in the Herdsdale woods. You were north of the Herdsdale. It was more open grass fields with some trees dotting the area here or there.
A little north from where y'all described your encounter.
And you would know that that is a little bit north of Gloomgarden.
Hmm.
Okay, so it sounds like it was just part of the spread from when the ball of destruction was there.
Very possible. Lordstones do have an adverse effect on the environments, and sometimes that can go outside of a simple border.
That voracious little Venus flytrap got far away from its hunting area.
Apparently, beef was on the menu.
It probably, not very intelligently chased like a squirrel out too far, and then got lost and couldn't come back.
I've heard it's what's for dinner.
You back crawl?
Yes. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. We were just talking about you're 2 feet tall. It must be difficult to take a dog out for a walk.
No, it's a German Shepherd, so I ride it.
I told you.
Hey,
I
you're right.
called it. I called it.
Hi ho Silva, ho
That just makes me think of Sir Didymus in the Labyrinth. Ambrosius, you turn around right now or I'm never feeding you again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Through the bog of eternal stench. God, I haven't seen the Labyrinth in forever.
I
movie.
think I only saw it once in my lifetime, and I can't remember what from it.
It's one of my favorite movies. I watch it.
Yeah.
It is a great one.
It's that, and then there's, the Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
That's an oldie but goodie. Did you see?
Very
Did
much
anybody
so.
see the series, Dark Crystal series?
Oh, I have not, but I've heard from a brother of mine that, he liked it. He wanted me to watch it. I don't know if it's
I
actually good or
enjoyed
not.
it. I enjoyed it. It had all the nice nuances of the old. They really captured the old style while adding some interesting CGI very, very seldom.
See,
Like only when they need to.
That's that's what makes me want to watch it, but I just haven't yet. I haven't gotten around to it. Is the fact that they still kind of maintain a lot of that like almost puppet like feel, but I know it's still like more stuff
Oh, no.
added, like the CGI.
Yeah. You actually see the feet, and I think most of the time, they did like above leg walking with most of the old Dark Crystal. Anyway, sorry, tangents.
Tangents aside, Kroll, uh,
Wait,
Billy talks about how he's essentially just kind of traveling, has been excited about his journey. He's talked about some dangerous and friendly creatures along the way, from over the mountains in Yonder to Shield Garden. Here talks about the flower creature that Echo and Raycor had fought a multiple of in their story. Quillbird's talking about, yeah, there's someone that's probably hunting me down and is probably a threat to all of you as well. Just, if I go with you, this guy might show up. A guy with a sword who's dangerous.
okay. Guy who's dangerous was this. What was he called?
I don't know
A
his name.
guy.
He just has a sword.
It's a guy.
The sword guy with arms? Did he have legs too?
I don't know. He had a big cloak.
The cloaked one-armed sword guy. I know him. No, I don't.
Okay.
But what I was going with, Kroll, while you were gone, is basically allowing you all, if there's any tales you wish to share about your character, the reasons you're here. Since you're a part of the group, is there anything you want them to help you with, or any tale you want to share?
For the most part, I'm just a traveling mercenary. A blade for hire. You guys don't necessarily need to hire me. I'm just kind of. I like you, so I'm gonna. I like this group. And he kind of gives everybody a kind of like a scanning once over, and then nods. Yeah, I like this group.
Everyone has to look down.
He looks up. So, just out of curiosity, Quilton, or Fuzzy.
Huh? Yeah?
How did you eat that cod?
I've got a mouth.
Where? he's like staring up at him.
Oh, you can't see it. It's and I tilt my head down, and you can see there's kind of like an area where the quills aren't dense. That there's kind of a mouth.
Just does the whole Grim Reaper from Family Guy. Just puts it into the dark cloak and pulls it out.
All right.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm just I don't really have much travels under my belt yet. You could call me Green, I guess. Kind of motions to his green body.
Nice. I see what you did there.
Yeah, she gets it.
As you all have your conversations, sharing stories of what you wish to share, agreed to, as a group, to help one another, even if there is a random sword guy that might come and kill you. But
That was very random, Wilbert.
but the three of you The newer comers wish to aid Echo and Raycor in possible pursuit of this person with a Lord Stone and of, well, a certain library book that Echo is looking for. Which, did you share the name to them?
Yes, I would have told them about the Spireheart, the book with my library trapped in it.
So that's like a big scroll or something, or is it an actual book? How heavy is it?
I'm not entirely sure. I think it's supposed to be a leather-bound volume, but I was not there to see it manifest, and I only have vague legends I've managed to gather since.
So you've never seen it?
Yeah.
It only exists when, basically, it's hard to explain. It's a wizard thing. It came into existence only when the library was sealed into it, and by then I was in stasis, so to speak. I had been down for repairs, and therefore it's why I wasn't in the library at the time. And so I have no idea what it looked like when it came into existence, myself.
So technically, it's not your book, but it is your library that's in a book.
Yes, it's a library book.
In the most literal of sense, a library book.
Exactly.
Could I? So I got a -1 to knowledge, but for shits and giggles, could I see if I've maybe heard of anything about it?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an intellect roll.
Knowledge roll or instinct?
Knowledge.
The knowledge. Okay. So with a -1, that's 2d12. Oops. And then do I just put -1?
Yeah, you either put -1 or you can just do it as is and we just do it in our heads and know what the answer is.
Is that a critical?
That is a critical success. So,
Yeah.
Oh, you mean this book in my back pocket?
what control? Because this has to make sense. It's not like you know the secrets of the universe.
It could be something that applies that might have if it's like a legendary book, it might have legends in back at
I was gonna say
in his
he's a
home
rogue, and
library.
it is. Yeah, I was gonna say if he's a rogue, it's theoretically this like lost treasure kind of thing, is what I imagine the rumors are about it now, and any information about it. So he very well could have learned some things.
Because you
Okay.
said you were in stasis for a while
Yeah,
after its
this was
making,
like 200 years ago.
so he could have legend lore it.
Just making my case for him to have stuff. No stuff.
So, first off, you get a hope.
So do I start with the 2 or do
Yeah,
I?
you start with the 2.
Okay,
With
and
your
then I
first
get
creative
plus.
character. And then you have
Yay!
an extra one now, so you have 3 hope. Obviously, you'll be able to reduce your stress, but you haven't used stress yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you know where it exactly is or where it has been. You have heard it exchanged hands in kind of a grapevine with like different cities or locations you've been to on the way to Shield Garden. and you probably have heard some things in passing by, right? Because you're sneaky. The frog ninja is
Maybe
able to
not
get.
necessarily here, but probably in from his home little island. It might have even his clan might have even been hired at one point to transport it.
Perhaps it was. And you were paid to bring it to a wizard who comes from the floating city.
Those damn floating city wizards.
So you're talking about. Does it have a specific? Okay, you said it was the storm.
The Spire Heart.
Uh,
Because she's from the Ivory Spire, it was the, yeah.
Yeah, you personally did not take the book, but perhaps your clan have delivered it to someone who represents the.
I remember that mission. Yeah. Last I heard, something about it might be floating island or whatever.
I could kiss you. Thank you for this information.
That is a solid lead because that's a critical success.
I don't know how dated that is, but that maybe several years old information. I don't know where it could be at now. Maybe a couple. Yeah, it's at least it's been a bit. But yeah, the scaly spired silver, whatever you called it. He kind of gives a very accurate, like nonchalantly gives a very accurate detail of what it looked like at one point. Looks like this.
Echo, you would know. Now you would not know because you've never personally seen it, but it's kind of like the protocol thing of what it would look like, right? If there's
Yeah,
ever
and
like
I think she's
emergency
managed.
situations.
Yeah, and I feel
So-
like she's managed to come across some text describing it too and whatnot.
The
So-
descriptions,
Just like old stuff.
it's almost like the descriptions his Kroll is giving you. You're sometimes finishing his sentence of what it looks like.
Yeah, something like that. So is the book large? Like big, uh, like old wizard giant sized, or is it like, just more of a wizard spell book size?
Is it a large tome?
I'm picturing it like those old handmade Bible sized, so it's fairly chunky of a tome.
So yeah, wizard textbook size.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. So what do you need it for?
I need it so I can unlock the library and let it back out into this existence, and therefore people will have access to it again. This is the best news. I have not had news of it for the recent I could change race back was 50 years. This is fabulous. She's
Well,
like so excited she's stuttering.
if my clan was either tasked to bring it or even protect it at this point, um, you're it's in very good hands, at least protected wise, and if you need to procure it yourself, you're not gonna find it easy to procure.
I will say there's it's a little retcon information for you Echo and you Raycor, but for everyone else it's new. The city is called Caldaris, and you all have seen it sometime in your lifetime, as it sometimes goes over Yondair or Bairdren, this massive floating city. Or floating rock, if you've never seen a city on top of it. It's perhaps just a rock underside you see.
Well, that is unfortunate to know, but I will deal with the consequences of who may own it when I am close to getting my actual hands on it. For now, we have more pressing concerns, unfortunately.
Right, some guy with a sword wanting to give our scaly friend the kidney shank, right?
Uh, well, I assumed you were talking about the lore stone thing.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I was totally paying attention.
We were hired by Kurana to do a job, and it really is best to finish it. Speaking of, at some point while we were here in the city, we would have made sure to send her a message letting her know what we found, so she's not just waiting for us to come out of the woods.
That can easily be done. It's in Shield
Sh-
Garden.
sh- Should we go and meet her then? Them? They, them?
I don't think she can give us any further information. It was mostly, we did send her a message to let her know what we didn't find and that we are still looking.
That's kind of
Ah,
why we're here now. Not only to take care of our fallen compatriots, but the trail we have ran in two directions, and north was one of those two directions. So we're here for that purpose as well.
what about you, Quill? Fuzzy? What do you think?
Well, I think if you guys have taken on a job to find out these things, we should get on that.
I like your enthusiasm.
So what other leads do you have? Or is that the only one? Just north?
That is the direction that the Lord Stone.
Chance the researchers are still with them, willingly or otherwise. They're from the Shield Garden. Perhaps someone recognized them coming back through and could tell us more.
Well, that as well as the fact that we lost the trail of the Lord Stone, but the last time we had the researchers trail, they were headed deeper into the heart of the Herdsdale Woods.
I could put an ear out and see whether or not anybody's heard anything about some researchers coming to town or possibly back to town.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, I'm antsy to get going.
I am not surprised by that, Quilbert.
Well,
For the
I'm going to put my vote towards the researchers then.
For the GM, did we get any sense of? I know, like, they're from Shield Garden, but did we get any sense if they were any kind of import or they were just like students no one's gonna remember or anything like that?
So, off the major map, like far west of Yondair, is other lands. They're from a distant land that and they trained in some sort of academy. They came here uh, very curious about like what Lordstones are, and
Hmm.
had been staying in Shield Garden while they did research, and had made friends with. You don't know if they made friends in Shield Garden, but you know they lived in Shield Garden, and occasionally went to Gloom Garden, the town, and spoke with the mayor there, and became friends with her, and did little excursions into the woods until one day they did
Darn.
come back.
I was hoping for like a Shield Garden born and raised thing where people might remember them, but this could be
Unfortunately, not. You don't know how long
less
they've been living
productive.
there, though. They could have been there for a while, and maybe someone did know who they were. But
Well,
they are from a far western land.
if they
Couldn't
did
hurt
go
to
back and
ask
forth
around here.
between the city and the town, it's more likely to recognize foreigners or researchers in a town than it is in a big city.
Well, last we checked with the people in the town, they gave us all the information that they had, the updated.
Ah,
Yes. They're the ones that we have communicated with thus far. We haven't gotten the chance to ask around much yet here in Shield Garden. Although I agree the chances of them being recognized is not necessarily as large, considering they won't stick out.
mhm.
Yeah, I suppose just asking willy-nilly whether or not people know anybody about uh, Lordstone research, we could probably find someone here, right?
I would say orcs don't seem to be very common here, and the person that was over that commissary type place yesterday happened to be an orc. One of the missing researchers is an orc. There might be a good idea to ask him about that specific researcher. I believe his name was Rumdar.
Dar with a G or Dar with a D?
Dar, D-A-R.
Gotcha.
B-R-U-M-D-A-R.
Do you remember all of the individuals, Echo and Rickwar?
Yes.
You have
Yeah.
the orc named Grundar.
There was Tyrael, the young elf woman with very long hair. Yenda, the female Qatari tiger. And I'm gonna butcher this. Hercia,
Persia.
the
Yes.
the bald goblin dude.
Well,
Got it.
if orcs aren't too common here, and is there like a school or something where researchers might go to congregate? We could try and track them down by asking about orc researchers there if they aren't common.
I don't know of any such place.
Another option is to inquire at the docks if anybody's sailed out with something. Unfortunately, it's not a very large lodestone that we're looking for. But maybe
It
a
would
small
definitely.
box they were keeping well guarded.
Yes, I would imagine it would be well guarded. I don't see anybody sneaking around with this on their actual person. That would be far too risky.
Yeah, we can't get that lucky, can we?
I think that is actually a very good line of questioning to ask at the docks about that. Also to inquire with any orcs we have met so far about the missing orc researcher, or even if we run into any goblins. I don't believe if goblins are very common here either. They might know each other.
It
Alright.
could help. They are an odd mix, same as ourselves. It might help them stick out some.
Alright. So is this the plan? Are you dividing up into groups? Are you all looking together? Starting at one place and then going to another?
I mean, to save time, I think we would be fine to split up and meet back, with some going to ask at the docks about any suspicious packages being guarded, or the other looking for orcs and goblins to.
Alright.
Well, I'd be comfortable going to the docks. I know some people there.
Excellent.
If we do find anything, I'm adept at getting into places I'm not supposed to be.
Have I learned by now about any kind of university type level school or large library here in the city? Because I can go check that out.
You want to look for one, indeed.
I
Alright.
mean, let's be real. She would have wanted to look for one the moment she could find a city for her own, for just to be near books.
I'm gonna make a roll here. Where is my D20? Not something to see on roll 20 just yet. Okay. So
I want to
one
see it.
one for the university. One's going towards the docks. Who's doing what else?
Kroll will maybe try and find someone that basically try to find an informant.
Okay.
Not necessarily of his own, like maybe try to find some connection to make one.
Trying to locate the grapevine, so to speak.
Yeah.
Very well. And what of Billy and Raycor?
I want to return to the place that we ate at the other day, and ask that orc that served us if he knows of any other orcs in the city, or if he knew of the missing orc researcher.
Billy will go with him.
Very well. Alright. This is going to be a skill challenge. By that, I mean you have to get a certain number of successes to effectively find information you're looking for. And depending on who gets higher will depend on what kind of information I reveal, especially, whether you're at the docks or at a library or speaking to the orc at the restaurant or through secret contacts. I would like you all to tell me how you find this information. Is it via just conversation? Is it just listening in, sneaking, or reading? Because I will say, I rolled for it and echoed. There is indeed like a little, not quite a university, but somewhat of a library, yes.
The mayor has books.
I think with Echo, it definitely been conversation. She would have introduced herself, let her know, talk to whoever's there to, describe who she's looking for, and try and get a sense if they've seen them come through, and how recently they saw them last, if so.
Very well. Now, right before we get into the dice rolls and what you're exactly doing. So, how I handle my skill challenges in like other TTRPGs, and I'll do the same thing for Daggerheart. Obviously, a little different because it's Daggerheart. Is you choose whichever the ability scores you want to use, right? That's the way it works. You tell me how you're using it, how you're effectively trying to gain information or sneak it out of someone or just, and it could be whatever, but depending on how ridiculous it is, I will up the DC, meaning you need a higher number to roll. So if you say something that's completely out of the blue ridiculous, I won't say it's impossible, but it might be hard to achieve. But all the more for you if you succeed, right? I take that into consideration. Also, if people, to kind of diversify it, for every 2 times one of the ability scores is used, then if the next person uses that same ability score, I up the DC by 1 for every 2 people that use it. To kind of diversify using the different stats if there's applications. And not every scenario will apply an ability score. Like, will you always have strength to rely on? Maybe not. But it also means if someone wants to creatively use strength in some way, they may. Like maybe instead of presence for intimidation, you try to intimidate someone with just your brute force, right? Muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Or breaking something, things of that nature. So,
speaking of
go for
it. Speaking of that, I want to use strength for my ability check.
All right. And it's going to be, I go 1 to everybody for the skill challenge. So once everybody's gone, if you've beaten the number of successes I needed, you're good. If not, we do a new round. And then people can decide when they go. So we'll say you want to use strength for yours. You're the first one.
What?
You said you wanted to use strength, right? For yours?
Yeah.
So I want you to tell me how you apply it. You are at the docks, correct?
Yes.
All right.
In my mind, Quilbert, since he's been to this port a few times, he probably knows some of the workers at the dock, maybe the deckhands who load and unload ships. And he is willing to work for his information. He will help load any incoming or outgoing ships in order to pay for some information they've heard about this group or about a highly protected little box.
Okay. Using your strength to just do essentially a day's work to have easier time getting information out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why not? Go ahead and roll me the 2d12s and add your strength modifier to it. If you want to know how to do that, there's 2 ways. Obviously, there's macros. If you don't want to deal with that, that's totally fine. It's optional. You got it. And that is a 15
Cool.
with hope. Because the hope die is on the left and the fear die is on the right. So you get a hope point. And that is a success. But we're going to come back to you. So right now, you are in the process. You just head to the docks and have a conversation. Hey, you want to help out with the cargo? Hey, I won't turn down free labor. Here you go. And in the process, it's this dwarven fellow that's bald with a beard that almost touches the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to meet you. What's your name, lad?
Oh, I'm Quilbert. I'm a sailor, so I'm used to doing this kind of work. It's actually nice to get back to it. But if you...
A seaborn, are you? Ha! I don't get out much on ships these days. I used to be quite the sailor myself. Now I mostly just stock the ships and unload them. The name's Brigbeer. And he holds out his hand to you.
I shake it as hardly as I can manage, which is not very good grip, but there's good muscle in the arm.
He gives you a similar one. Strong dwarven
Mhm.
individual. He accepts your help, and you begin getting to work, and then we'll see what information he gives you afterwards. All right, who is next?
I'll take a shot. I would use presence since she's doing talking.
Very well. You find there is like there, just a single librarian in this little library here. She has these reading glasses, and she's reading through a book herself. She sees you enter. Oh, she closes her little book. Hello. Ah, oh, you've been here before. Echo, is it?
Yes, hello. It's a pleasure to speak with you again.
You
I
know
just had
this.
a couple questions.
You know this woman to be Miranda, kind of an elderly human individual. Oh yes, of course. Uh, well, ask away. And you can go ahead and give me a presence check.
Okay. Now, I want to ask if I can use an experience with this because I do have a researcher, and I just want to see if that'll help me, know what questions to ask, how best to talk with her, librarian to librarian.
I'll say, hmm, researcher. Researcher is more implying like you're looking through the books themselves to find the information, or you're studying something. I think the conversation's not quite the researcher part. But she is a librarian. Why not? I'll say why not. If you want to use your researcher experience, you can.
Okay. I mean, it's not always just digging through a book. Sometimes you gotta talk to people.
Yeah, compare
I
notes.
do, I do have a debt, so instead of spending hope, I'd like to spend stress and double my experience modifier.
Ooh, okay.
So that's a
25
25
with
with
hope.
hope.
So you get a hope back. Pretty good. Uh, you begin to have a conversation with her, and we'll get back to you in exactly what the question is. But that is a success. Who's next out of the remaining three?
Kroll will go next. Now, I imagine Kroll would probably be actively sneaking around, trying to listen to someone, and if he overhears anybody kind of giving any possible notes about his, call it a quarry, um, he'll confront them.
Okay, so
And
so you're essentially kind of just moving about, like listening in on people's conversations and see if anything perks up about the situation you're in. So,
yes,
how would you like to do that? Are you Is it more about
well,
an intellect of like gathering the information, or is it like an instinct for like perception?
um, we'll do instinct for right now.
Very well.
Could I use my experience for ninja training for that to?
I'd say so, because sometimes if you walk up to someone or you walk by someone, sometimes listening, some people can get suspicious. But with this is like a way of keeping you subtle and moving through. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say you could use your ninja training for this.
This is the intel gathering stage.
Yep, spend a hope to use that experience. And give me
Okay.
a instinct roll.
And spending the hope, does that add anything else or no?
Well, you spend a hope to use the experience.
Okay, so in that case, that is a maximum fear, but that's an 8. That's 15.
Okay. So it's a success. But no, I'll just take the fear token. I won't do anything with that yet. So yeah, that is a success. Uh, you overhear some conversations about a red-robed individual, which we'll get back to you. You're on
Red
that.
robed?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Who's next? Well, it's actually both of you, Billy and Raycor.
Yeah.
Who are seeking out the orc. He welcomes you back in. Oh, hello. Welcome back to the Haven. Could I get you some more food or drink, perhaps?
Hello. I will take another of those drinks that I had the other day. They were quite good.
Coming right up. And you?
I'm just here to look around this time.
Okay. One drink. The same one, correct?
Yes.
Be right with you. He leaves for about a moment, gets you your mug of ale. You put down a coin. No need to, because I know there's the rule for 10 coins equals one handful, but that is also optional. I'm not doing that. You know, I'm not going to deduct your treasury, so you pay a coin. And in my world, it tends to be silver. Silver for like common courtesy. Coinery. Instead of a gold coin, it's silver. But it still works the same way.
I wanted to ask. I've noticed that there aren't too many orcs around here in Shield Garden, and I happen to be me and my friends. We're in search of some missing researchers, one of which happens to be an orc, and I know that they stayed here for some time, and I wanted to know if you knew anything about a orc researcher that lived here not too long ago.
Hmm. Well, he's looking at you carefully, like seeing if he should say anything.
Hmm.
I'm assuming you're going to do the check first. What would you like to use?
Yes, I kind of want to gauge his reaction, so I kind of want to, be sensing and looking out for if he's deflecting or gonna try and lie or anything like that, and I want to
Very
use
well.
my instinct.
You may.
Um, and so you want me to roll that or
Yeah, this will be an instinct roll.
sweet? Okay. And does does Billy wanna help me with that?
I actually also wanted to make an instinct roll, but not on the bartender, but on the rest of the bar to see if anybody else gets agitated or seems to perk up about you mentioning the researcher.
Okay. Also, give me an instinct roll. So I'll say because he's doing his roll, he's not quite assisting you. in this moment.
All right.
Mine's a 23 with hope.
All right, you get a hope back.
Mine is 15 with fear.
15 with fear. You were the first instinct roll, so okay. You both use an instinct roll, which means if anyone else uses instinct for this skill challenge, it goes up by 1, the DC. All right. First phase of information. We're gonna first come to Quilbert. Quilbert, as you're lifting all these crates, got a decent strength, able to carry them across, no issues whatsoever. Putting crates in, loading ships up, loading a ship up, and when you're done, the dwarven individual is like, "Hey, thanks for that."
Of course. I'm happy to do this deck work, but if you do have any information, it would be very helpful to me.
Oh, what kind of information you looking for?
Well, there might have been a ship that went out recently with a lot of protection over something very small, in a box probably. Have you heard anything about that? Or have you seen it?
You know, I'm not sure if I've seen anything small. I carry a lot of crates and, you know.
Mhm.
However, there was not too long, like a couple of weeks ago, there was a particular crate I was holding that was like a black wood. When I was picking it up, it felt kind of weird. Felt like there was this vibration to it.
And was this 2 or 3 weeks ago? Maybe 4?
About 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Thank you. Do you recall where the ship was headed?
Oh, it was heading towards. Hold on, let me look at my own map. Oh, I was heading for Thar Harbor.
Thank you.
Thor Harbor?
Thar Harbor.
Thar Harbor.
Thar Harbor.
Thank you. That's a very helpful piece of information.
Glad to help.
Of course. And I'm happy to help you too. If I'm back in town, maybe I'll come by and stop again. It's nice to work on the docks.
Of course, could always use some rest for my poor back.
And then he runs off quickly to go tell the information.
What, not staying to get paid?
All right. Before we move to Echo, we're actually going to move to Kroll first.
Ruh-roh.
In passing by some conversations, you don't hear too much until there's a particular group of folks that are at the restaurant you had been to earlier. Uh, so you actually see Raycor and Billy are within, but they are kind of they're farthest away from them. There's just a table of like 4 individuals speaking one there. One of them's like, "No, it was really weird. Saw this like red robed looking fella, and he had like 2 other individuals of them like wearing like armor." And someone goes, "Huh." Sounds like one of those floating city mages, probably.
Said 2 figures in armor.
Mm-hmm. That were with this red-robed individual. Look like they were checking out. They were in the Now I gotta come up with the name of this. They were at the Shield Side Imports, checking their ship, and I guess, well, they're going somewhere. That's for sure.
Field side imports.
Mm-hmm. Shield Side Imports. All right.
Or a shipment, you said.
However, you hear them continuing the conversation, and someone's like, "Well, I actually got a good look at them." You're gonna need to make a check for this, though.
Okay. Instinct.
Instinct would be for perception, unless you think you can sneak up. You could argue uh, agility as well.
I have a hide class feature.
This is more about like getting close enough, like because they begin to whisper really closely, like for you to practically get up to the table where you might be touching them. So I think this is more about like your body movement rather than just the hide feature as the rogue.
Okay. Um,
This is more about how close you get to them without disturbing.
Wouldn't
How
wouldn't
tall?
that
How
also
tall
fall under
is?
finesse?
How tall is the table? Are they in like a corner booth or something, or?
They are kind of in like a corner. It's a round table, but kind of in like a. I can't say corner because it's like a round courtyard, circular courtyard. But so they're kind of
Okay.
near a wall, but they're furthest away from Raycor and Billy.
And it's just two people at this table?
4.
4. Okay. I was thinking about using Shadow Stepper just to teleport under the shadows and under the table.
Okay.
But I don't think having 4 people around. I'll just use
Yeah, I think for the skill challenge is that I set DCs accordingly if there's like class features or stuff like you're saying that are involved. They lower the DC. But the skill
Okay.
challenge, because it's a part of the challenge thing, right? It still requires the finesse. I would say it depends. If you're moving amongst them, I think agility is there, but finesse I think could also be used.
Uh okay. Let's try finesse. To try to just get closer. Um Try to get closer, but like maybe strike up a conversation, but keep my ear to not talking to them in particular. I would be talking to like I don't know the waitress who's nearby or something, and like fake a conversation with her, or start a frivolous conversation with her while listening to.
So okay, you're doing
That could be instinct again.
For this, which one are you doing? Are you speaking to her and hoping that you're close enough to hear conversation, or are you just
Yes.
sneaking up to the table?
Let's just sneak up to the table. Let's not overcomplicate things.
Okay. Give me a
So,
finesse roll.
all right. Yep. 14 with hope.
14 with hope. You get a hope back. Alright, and you are rogue. So that lowers DC a little. Were you using anything else for this? Can't remember what.
Would hide work as a rogue when you are hidden targets can't?
I am counting hide. It lowered DC
Okay.
a little. Just not sure if you had anything else in play.
I have Lightfoot, which means I move silently. You have advantage to on rolls that move without being heard.
Well,
At
shoot.
all times or in nature?
Yeah, at all times.
At all times. Okay, well, that does lower it. Yeah, that is considered a success then.
Oof, nice.
That's why I was asking, because I was like,
It's good to be the
wasn't
rogue.
gonna- Yep. It lowers the DC enough.
Yeah, it just says your movement is naturally silent. You have advantage on rolls to move without being heard.
All right, easily able to get up to the table, practically under their chairs, in between their legs, under the table. Just you're able to, at some points, even peeking over the table's edge, and somehow no one sees you. Like just frog eyes showing up on the edges of the table at random intervals too in the conversation. Like you keep on moving, and no
I
one
just
sees you.
imagine. I'm kind of imagining Kroll just kind of, because he's really light and like he's actually behind somebody's chair and leaning up against the back of it, just listening like that. Like
Yeah,
as if he's against a wall, but he's just leaning up against the back of their chair.
easily.
Uh,
And it was probably like the biggest individual, so they're less likely to feel like 25 pounds living against their chair.
yeah.
You see, one of the individuals is about to whisper, but before I reveal the information, we're moving to Echo. Echo.
Lay it on me, Miranda.
What exactly did you ask, Miranda?
Definitely when the last time she would have seen them was. Whether that was a group or just one in particular. And if she'd heard anything about where they may have been staying when they were here, or where they may have been going anywhere, if it has been recent, if they were mentioned going anywhere other than, the Gloom Garden and the Herdsdale and that.
Oh, they've not been back here since they left roughly 5 weeks ago for Gloom Garden. I've not seen them back in the city. But there was a there was something they left though here in the library. Are you perhaps going out to them?
I am trying to find them, yes.
Ah, very
So
well.
if there's anything they left that I could give back to them, I would appreciate it.
Yes,
Also,
indeed.
have I been the only one to inquire about them with you? Or anyone else here at the library?
No. Probably about a little over a week ago, or no, 2 weeks ago, there was an individual in red robes who came through. He was asking about he was asking about where they had been staying, and I told them well he had two strange individuals with him, but I did not want to inquire anything about them, and they terrified me, so I didn't share too much with him. I said they stayed in an inn. But here, she wipes off a little bit of like dust from her own library, dust shelves and stuff. From under her desk, she brings out a little booklet and hands it to you.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate that you didn't share with the others. I don't get a good feeling about them either. Do you know anything more than what you told them about where they actually were staying?
Well, they knew that the researchers had been in here in Shield Garden for a little over a month. 2 months. I don't keep track usually. It's been not at my age.
I'm sure you see so many people.
Well, I see enough, I guess. As you see, a library that has no one in it but you and her. I just
You
didn't
could've.
like. The library is empty except for you and her. She just says, "Well, yes, I suppose I speak to a lot of people these days." She hands you a little booklet. It looks like a little note booklet. Size of a little mini Bible, essentially.
Thank you again very much for all your help.
Of
I'm
course.
hoping to find them in good health.
Oh, I hope they're in good health. They were very lively. I hope to see them again real soon. You take care of yourself, Echo.
Thank you, Miranda. You as well. I'm gonna take the book, and I know they mentioned talking back at the restaurant, so I'm gonna head there, because that's some place that I know the location of, that we could theoretically meet back up at.
Oh yes, as it was Raycor who said to meet back up at the restaurant.
Did I learn an actual location of where the researchers were staying, or was it just an inn, the same as what she told the ones in the red robes?
She briefly mentioned that because of their researchers, sometimes they actually stayed in the library itself, like a sleepover.
Okay. Not probably not a good location to just try and look at, stuff, but it does mean they explains why the book got left behind. So cool.
All right. So,
I
you're heading back towards the restaurant with a little booklet in hand. Are you attempting to read it on the way, or are you waiting?
I think I'm waiting, just because she's already been that person who's tripped and fell reading something while walking at the same time. She's learned better, especially uneven cobblestones and rough roads and whatnot. She's gonna wait.
Very
I
well.
gotta wait. I gotta wait. I gotta wait. I gotta wait. Can't open it now. Can't read it now.
Exactly.
We come back to Billy and Raycor. Uh, so your rolls were 23 and a 15. Raycor, you do sense something. He's hesitant, but he is not lying to you, and then he responds. Yeah, it's some younger fella ate here a few times some weeks ago. Uh, he's from the lands to the west. You know, there's a new kingdom formed there that has just gone through the. Well, they've just entered a time of peace among many people, and well, they've sent some of their best and brightest of scholars to discover things about Lord Stones here in these lands. Uh, as you are Billy,
Yes.
you're looking around the area, and there's no particular person that takes interest necessarily at your conversation. Like, no one's head perks up, but you do see a single individual, his back turned, a table not too far from yours. Single person at a table for 5 or 6.
Just sitting over there by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But here's
Oh,
the interesting thing.
yeah.
He wasn't there before you got there. He sat down
Oh.
after you both had sat down. Looks to be kind of a half-elven man, at least from the features you can see from the back. Seems to be drinking some sort of ale.
All right. I'll just make note of him. And when we leave, I'll probably just make sure he's not like following us.
Very well. Raycor, do you ask him anything else? The orc. Anything to clarify aside from he's seen them? Hey, hello?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I was muted.
Awesome.
Yes, I want to let him know, not just ask him, but I want to inform him that we're searching for these researchers because they've gone missing
Oh,
under mysterious circumstances in the past month, and their last known whereabouts for that we know of is in the Hurtsdale Woods, but we're trying to find out more details about what they were doing and you know where they might have gone.
okay. You trying to say this quietly or not?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I would like you to make a. I would like you to make a check for me, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Up to you to decide what it is, and DC will vary depending on if it makes sense or not.
I'd probably say finesse. Just
Finesse.
trying to, yes, trying to control my tone and where,
For subtlety.
you know, yeah.
Finesse with your words very well.
$11 with hope.
Do get a hope. Coming back to your role, Billy. You've been eyeing the individual. A lot of the patrons are eating or drinking. If they have a single ale, if they are not in a conversation, they're just taking a drink every now and then, right?
Right.
Casually. This person's been doing the same thing, but the second Raycor started talking, Raycor was quieted, but it's almost like the person stopped drinking, and it's like there for what Raycor is saying. You don't see him moving his arm to drink. He's still.
I'm gonna walk in his direction. As I pass Raycor, just kind of like pat his shoulder, not to like get his attention or something, just let him know I'm leaving his side.
Very well. the second you begin to move, you see him beginning to like take drinks from his ale again.
Okay.
So you walk over to the table, and you can indeed see an individual. He's got kind of like a short little goatee going, half elven man with blue eyes, blonde hair. Taking a drink of ale, sees you approach the table from the side because his back is turned to you, so you'd be coming like from behind him essentially to the side.
I'm sorry, you're cutting out like every other word now.
Oh, give me just a second.
I wasn't the only one noticing that.
Okay.
Sometimes my stuff just does that. Uh, unfortunately, there's not too much I can do about it except for like leaving and entering the call. If it's separate parts, I can just edit them, and combine them. All right. He has his back turned to you, and he began drinking when he heard movement, essentially. As you
Right.
move up to his side, you see it's this half elven man with blue eyes and blonde hair, and like a short goatee that he's growing. He's taking a sip of his drink. You come up on the side of his table.
That must be some kind of drink to give someone pause like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty good. Never had roomberry ale before.
Mhm. Yeah, some of my friends had it last night. Said it was good stuff. You wouldn't happen to know about any ogres or orcs around here, would you? That going missing?
Orcs? You mean besides old Yogg right there? I can't say that I have.
It seems to me you're very interested in my friend's conversation with Yogg.
Um, listen, I'm just here to enjoy a drink.
You come here often?
Every once in a while.
Mm.
Uh, if you excuse me, uh, I was on break.
On break, where you work?
At the fishery. Anyway, gotta go. Puts down a coin for the ale, takes a big drink out of it. See you around. And he walks out. Uh, he heads towards the exit.
You said that Wilbur was hiding around. Is he in our tavern or a different one?
Kroll?
Yeah. Not Crow, Wilbur.
Quilbert?
Yeah, Wilbur.
Quilbert is, he's not inside, but he's on his way. He's coming from the
Oh,
port.
gotcha.
The person that's in there is Kroll, who's listening to a table conversation. But I
Would
don't
there
think
be a chance I would have noticed Crow? Probably not.
I'll give you
Rolls.
I'll give you an instinct roll with disadvantage to see him.
So, let's see here. Slash roll.
Otherwise, he's gone to you as well.
He's a sneaky little frog.
Oh yeah. But Kroll, you definitely do see Raycor and Billy.
I see all this happening.
You're focused on this conversation. I don't think you see the individual necessarily. 13, then roll a d6.
So 12.
12 with fear. You do not see him at all.
Well, not seeing my sneaky buddy to have him follow him, I will follow the guy.
All right. Kroll,
I noticed my big clanky clank friend leaving the tavern.
you're about to, but before we do, as you're listening to this conversation, one of the individuals leans in closer to the center of the table, like giving the signal for all of them to kind of lean in to kind of whisper conversation.
Yeah.
Could have swore the two individuals didn't have any eyes. They were empty sockets. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Yeah. What if this guy is secretly a necromancer? Oh, don't say such things. Or what if he's what if they're just like puppets? What if it's like animated dolls of some sort? Oh yeah, that could be it. They're kind of speculating, but you learn that there's something weird about the ones in armor. They have empty eye sockets that they could spot from the suit, barely. You're not sure if they're telling the truth or if this is just like someone's like, "Oh yeah, I got a ghost story for you."
Okay. So now it's getting into like speculation about, and those are just the companions, correct?
Mm-hmm. About the two entities in armor that are following, that are moving with this uh, person in red robes.
Okay. Kroll kind of nods a little bit and do I what do I notice about these individuals? Do they look like dock workers? Do they look like uh they're like, you know, a group of friends or whatever that are just, or do these look like shadier types?
They definitely look like the working class sorts. Uh, like two of them look like they perhaps are dock workers, while another two look like they are perhaps work on a different type of business, but they're all in like work clothing and are either done with their shifts for the day or are on some sort of like lunch break, essentially.
Um so bold as he is, he's going to jump up onto the table and look at the person who and kind of look up at them all and say,
Whoa,
"Hi,
whoa there!
whoa, hi, don't worry. I'm just curious. I overheard you guys a little bit. I'm actually looking for a couple people. Um, in red robes. Do you can you tell me anything about the ones that you saw?"
Oh, will they give me a? This is a presence check. This is no longer a part of the skill challenge, though. Separate. You guys have succeeded the skill challenge.
Okay, let me see if I have anything about this.
It's around this time that
Would Deft Deceiver uh work for this? Spend a hope, take advantage on a roll to make a deceive or trick someone into believing a lie that you tell them. would that be?
I'd say you can. Yeah.
Okay. So let's deduct 1 hope. And we'll roll.
We'll say, Billy, you see your ribbit friend jumping up on the table, not too far from you, from the entrance. However, the guy's already out the door. So do you continue on foot, or do you try to get your friend's attention?
Quick glance, does he look like he's in immediate danger?
The ribbit is not. Everyone else looks like they're like hands up, like backing away. Like, what is this? Who is
Like
this
he
guy?
surprised somebody? Okay.
Yeah.
And get my hope back. 20 with hope.
20 with hope.
I wouldn't stop following the guy, but I would yell back to Crow and probably everybody else in the bar will hear it too. Found a suspicious guy, following him.
Roll will like hold up 2 fingers or hold up a thumb, and but he doesn't really break eye contact with the people he's talking with.
Okay. You hear this, Raycor. When you're in a conversation with the orc, it is distracted from that moment. What was the thing you said though? Well, the orc was gonna say something. What you asked the orc again?
Oh, I simply clarified that we're searching for these researchers. They disappeared under mysterious circumstances, and I'm trying to find out any information about them and their time in Shield Garden and where they might be.
Afraid I've not seen them in Shield Garden as of late. It's been 5 weeks, maybe. But poor lad, he seemed anxious about something. He was saying that one of his compatriots received threats from someone from Caldaris.
Did he say what type of threat? And why?
Something about their research here. Don't know anything else, I'm sorry.
Thank you. What you've said is already very helpful.
And it's around this when you hear Billy yell out. That he's after the individual.
On that note, I'm going to follow after Billy as well.
All right.
I'm not going to stray far, but I'm at least going to go to the door.
As soon as you get outside of this like courtyard area of this like restaurant, you look down the road to your right, down the cobble road, and you see the individuals running for it. They took off running the second they got outside the door.
I would like to use one of my subclass abilities to embrace the element of air, which will cause me to hover and gain advantage on agility rolls and take on after him.
All right.
This does mean I have to mark a stress, but because of my Furbolg anniversary, I need to roll a d6 first.
All right, to see if you actually do spend it.
That's right. That's a 1, so I do.
All right. It's around this. It's actually not too far. I'll say Echo and Quilbert. With your individual tasks, you were able to meet up at a kind of. You both just kind of happened into each other on your way. You know, about a couple blocks down, and you get probably about like 100 feet or so from like the restaurant area, and you just see some like half elven man move outside of like the restaurant and just take off running in a direction. Moment later, you see Billy coming out. So, now it's up to you all. What would you like to do?
Can we tell that Billy is chasing him?
Yeah, you see Billy hover off the ground and then chasing.
I will say, right before we get to Chase and Kroll, you asked what they look like. Do you want to stay for the answer, or do you want to pursue?
Kroll's gonna stay for the answer. He trusts the two biggest people in his party to manhandle and apprehend someone. And if he needs to, he will eventually once he gets his answer, and if he is satisfied with the details that he procures, he'll go after, but he'll probably have to track them down. But he's fairly confident and he's able to track a furball and a scaly dragon.
All right, go for it. So while they begin their chase, the four individuals you startle, they're like, "What the hell is going on?" One of them goes, we only caught glimpses of them. The one in the robes, he looked like,
Catch anything under the hood, or
he wasn't wearing a hood. He looked like he was a human man, kind of thinning up the top, with like a he did have a widow's peak with black hair. His robes were red and what else do they have? Oh yeah, the bigger fella talks. Had like jewelry, a lot of rings on his fingers. And I mean, I didn't catch much detail beyond that. You know, he was kind of
Did
speaking with our boss.
did he look like old or younger, or maybe like was his scale pale or anything like that?
40s or 50s.
Skin.
He didn't look like he was dying. No, didn't look pale.
All right. Anything else at all?
What? We I don't know anything. Another one says, "Sorry, we're just here on a lunch break. We're just gossiping. We only saw glimpses of this fella."
He kind of looks at the one who's deflecting, which I believe was the bigger guy, and leans in kind of close and says, "Well, if you do have any other information, or if you see him again, I would greatly appreciate if you let me know. All right?"
Kind of just nods. Okay.
Good. I'll be staying here tonight at this tavern. Now, if you'll excuse me, he'll hop off and very casually walk out the door. Before once the door closes, he breaks off into a sprint.
The four of them watch as you leave. The second you leave. What the hell was that? I don't know. Be like Charles, are you into illegal stuff? Is that what happened? No. You get off into a run, but everyone else is ahead of you. So, Billy, Raycor, Echo, and Quilbert.
Wasn't Quilbert on his way?
So Quilbert and Echo, you both met up like from your individual tasks, like you just found each other on your way, and were walking together back towards the restaurant that you knew you'd meet back up at. And you get like 100 feet away from the front entrance to like the restaurant itself, like the courtyard part of it, and you see this half-elven man like get outside of it and begin taking off running. And shortly after, you see Billy exiting, and looks like he's about to take pursuit. So it's up to you what you would like to do.
What direction is he running?
He's heading kind of
Is
in
he
the
like running
northward
towards
direction.
us?
He's heading away from you.
Okay.
But it definitely looks like one of our own is trying to get him.
Yes.
And do we have our weapons on us at this time or no?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay.
The city doesn't really have a law about being against weapons necessarily, so long as you keep them on your
Okay.
sides.
Well, I think Quilbert just looks to Echo. It's just like, should we
So-
help?
You wouldn't say we were very close to them, would you?
You're like, what was the ranges again? I know they actually gave like measurements aside from like pencil length.
Yes. Let me see.
This should help out with the scene.
Very far is 100 to 300 feet away. Far is 30 to 100 feet away.
So you're within far range of Billy. But it would be like barely into very far range. Well, you said that very far is 300 to something?
100, 300.
Yeah, like a little over 100 feet. Like probably 130 or so. So,
No, I was
The guy-
talking very close. That it wouldn't work.
no.
One day I will put someone to sleep. Damn it.
Kroll will
She's
ask
gonna
you
take
for a
off
night
running
night.
too.
Okay.
It's really all she's got, short of, actually full on attacking someone, which is never a good idea in a busy street.
Am I familiar enough with this town, having been here before, to think of like a cross street to try and catch him on?
Would you have had time to explore a city?
I think
jobs.
this being like the biggest city on our route, this would be the day where we would resupply. So I might have had some time to be in the city, but not for more than 2 or 3 days.
I'll say if you're looking for a place to cut him off, an intellect roll will be needed.
Okay. I'll roll that. Oof.
Ooh.
6 of fear. So you kind of cut off to the side, leaving Echo's side while she makes haste after Billy and the other guy. Raycor, you pretty much get out and you're side by side with Echo as you all begin the pursuit. With
I
Kroll.
thought I would be next to Billy.
Well, you had to
came
get
out
up
the road
from.
after him.
Well, the thing is he did the things. He didn't wait. Billy didn't wait for you
Okay.
before running. No, he wanted to keep on the guy. He just yelled out. So,
I do have something I want to try.
so in the span of like 6 seconds of someone like in a full sprint, you're not far behind him. It's like 70 or so feet behind Billy.
Okay.
But you get out there and you see Echo is also running after. There was Quilbert. He went off Quilbert, you went off in a direction and you ended up at a dead end. You thought you remembered the path in the city to go
Fiddlesticks.
cut them off, yeah, and you lost track. So you will be farther back.
Okay.
But so in the chase scene, you either use different checks to try to do different things of either distracting or giving you the hand in a chase, or you can use a flat agility check to speed yourself up to the target.
Hey, I'm sorry. Did I do I take a stress or something from I missed what the result of my roll was. Sorry.
So with the results, there's two things. I either choose to take yours with fear. So in this case, you simply just could not go and cut him off. You reached the dead end, so you're actually a little bit further back, or a little bit further away because of a failure from your target. So you have to find another route to get there or get back to the main road that you and your friends were running and chasing after the individual. So
got it.
It's more of like.
I'm also letting you know.
What would you like to do? Go ahead.
What? I just would like to let you know that since I'm Seaborn, because I get a roll with fear, I get to add a marker so I can add a +1 later on. Every time I roll with fear.
Yes, you can.
Up to my level. Okay, cool.
And I am going to take the fear die, obviously. Now, I could make you do not take a stress. I could, instead of making you, it depends on the situation, right? If I didn't want to take a fear, I could have made you take a stress instead.
Okay, got it.
Other situations for stress are, I'd say if it happens, failures happen multiple times in a row, that's where stress damage could accrue. But
okay,
not at the moment. You just simply lost track, where you thought you remembered the path exactly. You took one wrong turn and ended up at a dead end. So you'll have to backtrack a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So with that, who wants to do what? I believe Billy, you said you were you activated something that makes you allowed to fly and float.
Yeah, to hover.
To hover.
And gives me advantage on agility checks.
Okay. Sounds good. We're gonna go to. Is there anything Echo and Raycor want to do? Since no roll was made. You're running, but is there anything you want to do that helps you catch up or helps you support an ally to make them catch up?
I'm just an agility check to run as fast as I can after them.
All right, give me an agility check. Oh, I better move my screen over to this one so that the audience can see something, or I'll just edit it in post.
I rolled a 14 with fear.
14 with fear. You do catch up to Billy, not quite the other individual. So Echo, you obviously, everyone else is a lot more of physical powerhouses. They're just sprinting, moving faster than you are. Ahead of you. Raycord, you get up to where Billy is, but the fear part of it is that the person turns right off the path. They make a sharp turn. And Billy and Raycord, just as you get to that turn, this corner of the street, and you see there's a crowd of people walking out.
Work just got out, and it's lunchtime or dinner time.
So
did he duck down an alley, or is it just another road?
It's like a side street, and it looks like a party of people are just laughing, chatting, and they're walking out of the area. But the guy definitely dipped down the direction. What would you like to do, Billy?
I'd like to make an agility check to leap over them and maybe bounce off the the wall side and land behind him and keep chasing.
Indeed.
Parkour.
The difficulty is easier than, just trying to push through them.
Yep.
So give me an agility roll with advantage.
That was just advantage. That's a 15 with fear.
15 with fear. Because you're able to kind of leap, and everybody in that group goes, "Ooh!" They kind of gasp as you leap over them. I wanted to see what Echo does right before I do the resolution for your roll, Billy. What does Echo wish to do?
Echo is going to cast Mage Hand, which has a very far range. Within far range, which I think you said we're
Yes.
within far range of them, right? Okay, so she's going to cast Mage Hand, and she wants it to come up right in front of his face and basically face palm him and kind of clothesline the man onto the ground.
Oh, okay.
It's a magical hand the same size and strength as her own, so I'm guessing it's a strength check, which is not her best, but she's gonna try it anyway.
Yeah, this will be a strength check, but this is a creative way to think about it. He's not gonna expect a spectral hand to pop up right in front of him. So go ahead and
He
do a
just
strength
gets
check.
smacked out of nowhere. What the?
He's essentially getting clotheslined, but it's by an open hand.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh,
Hey, at least it's with hope.
you do get a hope. I'm gonna narrate why I think it failed, because he cut it, and you're a little bit further back. You don't see where he went, so you were like predicting, because you've been in the city for a little bit, right, Echo? You're just trying to predict where to put the hand in front of him.
Right.
You're just a little off, so that's what the failure is. But the hope is, you were close. A little proud of yourself, actually, for almost getting that.
Yes, I am.
You don't even know if it worked, though. Technically, you didn't know, because there's buildings in between where you and the guy is, because he took a hard right. So you were just taking an educated guess to estimate where he is to stop him, which almost did. Billy, you see him as he's running. You close the distance. You're like within 30 feet, or we'll say. You see a ghostly hand. It was in front of him, but he jerks his head to the left and dodges
No.
it. Raycor,
So close.
how are you getting through this? And we're coming to you, Quilbert, as well. Quilbert, you see
Okay.
down the road, you're a bit further back, but you do see Echo still moving. Looks like she was doing some hand gesture with her hands, casting something. And further further past, you see Raycor and a group of people that are exiting a side path. But Raycor and Quilbert, what do you wish to do?
How wide are the streets?
Kind of depends. Side roads are kind of 10 feet-ish wide, while the main roads, the main thoroughfares through the city, are 15 to 20, give or take.
Okay.
How far am I from this guy?
You would be considered Raycor far. Not very
Okay.
far. But there's also a group of people in between
Right.
between you and him.
I think I'd prefer to jump over the crowd, considering the chaos happening around the
All right,
mage
you
hand.
got anything to help you with this?
I mean, just agility. That's
Okay,
my best attribute for this.
very well. Give me an agility roll.
Uh, 9 with hope.
So you go to leap, and I imagine it's not like a clean single jump, but you're trying to like use the wall. Billy was able to do a clean jump because he has like this floating like spell effect on him.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to do it using your fitness to do so. Unfortunately, your foot gets caught on the shoulder of like a bigger like a kind of a bigger furball individual, and you end up falling over past him. You're on the opposite side of the group, but he goes, "Hey, watch it!" And keeps on walking. You kind of do like rolling on the ground a little bit for like 2 feet when you hit the ground in your armor, and you have to pick yourself up. But when you do, they've gotten Billy and the other have gotten a little bit further ahead of you.
Okay.
So you got past the group, but you didn't make much distance closer to them. All right. What about Quilbert?
How scurry-upable is the building next to the crowd?
The buildings are relatively like they're 2-story buildings for the most part.
Is it like?
So you're talking about like how climbable is it? Like how much can you
Yeah,
get
how
up for?
climbable? Yeah.
I'd say it's very possible. Is it the absolute
Okay.
easiest thing? Not necessarily, but it is very possible. It's not the hardest thing.
I didn't write it as an experience. It probably would have been better than cleaning. Thinking about it now, to put like being a sailor, but I would have experienced climbing rigging, and I guess that's not the same as climbing a building.
I will
But
say, if there's an experience you've not used yet, you may change it. I will allow you,
Okay.
if you feel like it makes sense. I feel like if you want to change one of those for like, just being a crewman for like doing things like attending to the mast,
Yeah.
rigging, and whatnot, you can do so. And so maybe you're better at climbing because of it. Is that what you're going for?
yeah,
Yeah, we can indeed do that. So you're going to replace the cleaning or the other one?
the cleaning
Very well.
with.
Yeah, you can spend a hope, and it'll give you the bonus of that experience. Which is it a +2 or +1?
It's a +1.
Okay. Yeah, you can spend a hope, and you'll get a +1 on your total result.
Okay, and am I using strength or agility for this?
I will give you the choice.
I think I'm gonna use strength for like. I feel like agility is more climbing up a rope, and strength is climbing up rock.
Yeah, I'd say agility is going to help you to get up it fast, but strengthful is still viable to make it a success.
Right. Oh, and I can add my one from earlier.
Yeah, because if it's agility, you're like, Ezio Auditore Assassin's Creed style climbing the building.
Right.
Which does require
If it's
strength.
strength, I'm thinking like the mantling in Fortnite. You just pull yourself up.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. 18.
With hope.
You just made the DC.
Whoa. I just barely pull myself up and climb onto the roof to see where he's going next.
Yeah, indeed, and I'll allow that success to allow you to catch up a little bit. So you're basically, because of it like a weird angle, they're still within very far. They're 200 feet away.
Okay.
But I'll say you cut 100 feet in that without an
Oh,
agility
wow.
roll. It was with a strength roll. Because now you have an advantage way of going rooftop to rooftop.
Mhm.
I'm going to do a GM move here and be an a-hole. There's a group of guards that have wandered into the area that you're chasing the individual. And I'm going to roll a dice to just see if there's anyone they pay attention to. This could be good for someone, or bad for someone else. Can't find my D4, so I'll just roll a D8. You know what? I'll roll it on roll 20. Why not? It would be a D10, but Echo is still on the opposite side of like the crowd.
Woo.
2. That is Billy. They didn't see the guy that you're chasing, but they see you running through, and they're like, "Hey, you! Halt!" A group of 4 guards begin to run. Armored soldiers of the Shield Guard. You know they shouted out to you, Billy, but both Raycor and Raycor and Quilbert. God, what was I just blanked
Fuzzy.
right there. I just blanked. Yeah, Fuzzy. Quilbert and Raycor, you do see the guards, and they are pursuing Billy. So, I will say everybody's gone. So,
I
what
have
would you guys
not.
like to do? What? Kroll?
Yeah.
I mean,
Is this all happening just when?
Yeah, this is happening while you're like interrogating them, essentially.
Alrighty.
So it'd be around here when the guards yell out, but you're like 400 feet out, 400 feet, very far.
Uh-huh.
Is when the conversation finishes for you and those people.
Yeah.
You know what? Why not? Let's go to Echo actually.
So I would like to take another shot with Mage Hand, but I have the quick learner experience,
Ooh.
and I would like to apply that.
That's going to help. I was going to say the DC is going to be a little bit harder, because now it's starting to get to like more like back neighborhood stuff. So it's kind of like he could pick a number of different paths. So it's a little bit harder, but you also have that experience that will help with that.
Can I also help by pointing him out?
Oh yeah, you were on top of the building. Yeah. Actually, if that's the case, not only will you give her advantage, the higher DC is not quite as high.
Okay.
So we'll count that as your action. However, do you have to roll to do a help, or is it just you work, do it, and you roll an extra d6?
I thought it was you spent the hope.
Yeah, you spend a hope, and they.
Oh, that's right. You spend a hope. That's what it was.
And
Yeah,
it
you
gives
spend
the
a
other
hope and then
person-
roll a d6 and they add it.
Yep. So, Quilbert, go ahead and spend a hope and roll a d6. And Echo, go ahead and make another strength check.
I'm also gonna help by shouting at the guy to distract him, because I need to get rid of some hope.
Okay. I'll say
And I am-
I'll say this because I don't think you can have more than one of like the d6 advantage, or can you? Can it stack?
I don't know.
I do not know.
Oh no.
I don't think it could
let's-
stack with the old advantage,
what-
but now that we're back to this,
But maybe he could give the
very
other guy a
good.
disadvantage. So he's trying to distract him.
More than one PC wants to help an ally. Each spends a hope to roll a d6 advantage die. The highest result among all these dice is added to the roll.
Gotcha.
Okay. So if you want to spend a hope to assist, you can roll a d6, and between you and Quilbert's, whichever is higher is the one that goes to Echo.
And I am gonna spend another stress instead of a hope to do this. So much help.
oh man,
Well, which
We're
one
just
would
looking at the wrong guy entirely.
you... Well, Echo, which one would you like?
Fabulous rules.
Would you like Quilbert's or Raycor's?
I don't know, they're both such excellent choices. Like,
Yeah, they really are. 18 with fear.
It'd be 19, but yeah.
And using quick learner, and that's the +1, right?
No, they're both +2 thanks to being a clank.
Oh, right.
Uh,
Right.
So they doubled
Okay.
it to a +4. So yeah, it came out to 18, 19 with my advantage.
Okay. Billy, you're 30
Nope.
feet from this guy running, but you hear guards shouting out. They are within. They are. They are within far distance.
Okay.
But you see the guy in front of you. He looks back and doesn't pay attention. Looks over his shoulder to see you. Looks back and there is an open hand. Smacks him in the face, and he falls onto his back. You're able to easily catch up to him. You are, in fact, to him, but there are guards behind you.
I hold my hands up to show that I have no intention of hurting anybody or any weapons in my hands, but I do tell the dude, like, I'm not yelling it at him or anything. It's like, if you don't want to get hurt anymore, you should probably stay down until these guards get here.
Oh. He's like feeling his face, like, oh, my nose.
Hey, we just wanted to talk. You're the one that ran.
The guards approach you all. They approach that other guy too. All right, both of you, halt. Halt. Mind explaining why you were running back there?
Getting some exercise.
I'm gonna spend a fear to be a dick. The one guy's on the ground is like, this person just attacked me, pointing up at Billy.
Attacked you with what?
You came out of nowhere and you smacked me in the face.
I was behind you. How'd I smack you in the face?
Give me a presence check for the guards.
Well, at least it's not a negative. Seven with hope, at least.
Seven with hope. Does anyone wish to do anything else in this manner? Echo, you felt the strike land. And 100 feet out, here comes Kroll, away from Echo.
He'd be on the rooftops.
Kroll would?
Yep.
Uh,
He would have
give,
tried to take.
Hi there.
give me an agility or strength roll, unless there's something else you have that can get you up onto these rooftops.
I could
Um,
roll up if it's the same rooftop.
Yeah, you can spend a hope to help him.
I went well last time.
Make the climb.
If you want to, I could just. Would it be finesse or agility? Could I use my ninja training as well?
Ninja training do focus on climbing as part of,
You want
sneaking
me
into
to roll it?
higher tier buildings. I'll say this would definitely be agility or strength, not finesse.
Okay.
So if you want to use agility, you may, and you can use your ninja training.
Yeah, that's one hope.
Quilbert, if you want to aid him, you can spend a hope and add a d6. As you is like reaching your arm out, catching him.
I'll roll it.
All right, spend the hope, and you add 3 to whatever your result is.
All right.
I will say, as soon as Echo noticed that the hand hit someone and they got knocked down, she would have dispelled it. That way the guards aren't seeing a spectral hand there and going, well, somebody
Gotcha.
attacked her.
Yeah, you probably heard hearing the guards yell like, "Stop! You there! Halt!" So that's probably a good thinking.
Nice.
That's very nice.
19 with hope.
19 with hope. Easily, you get up to where Quilbert is, overseeing a scene in like a little. It's like a little market square, not like like a big market square in a major city. It's more of like, hey, it's a little mini market square area.
It's
And
like a solo fountain or something.
yeah, pretty much. You see Raycor is like moving about, positioning himself, moving towards the situation, but you see the situation is 4 guards surrounding uh, Billy and the guy that you're chasing who's on his back.
All right.
Is there anything you wish to do? I'll imagine the crowd has dissipated, and Echo, you have free access to go in to the area without needing to make some sort of roll to get past them.
And how far am I? You said?
Relatively like 100 feet away. So that's,
Okay.
you're within far range. On a rooftop, overseeing this.
Okay. I would just like to try to get closer to them.
All right, you staying on the
Start
rooftops, or
heading
are you trying
towards
to go down?
go down towards the commotion.
Very well.
Echo will come up and join the guards and Billy and them, and yeah.
As you
So,
approach the guards, one of them goes, "Hold, hold. We're questioning these individuals. Would you mind staying back?"
One of them's with me, and we have reason to believe the other one knows something about the disappearance of researchers we've been searching for.
Are you aware that your friend attacked this individual?
I didn't see an attack. That man tripped and fell right on his face in the cobblestones. It was very accidental.
Give me a presence check, but it's going to be a disadvantage because of Billy's previous roll.
Sorry.
How does that work if advantage is just somebody else rolling a
No, that's if they're
D6 is
helping.
disadvantage?
No, that's if they're helping you. It's not giving you advantage.
Oh,
it's just
okay.
they help you. Advantage
okay.
is it's a D6 that you yourself give you instead of an ally.
I'm
But
gonna
if it's
vouch for
disadvantages-
Echo and give help.
Sees you approach and is like, "Sir, back off." And you what do you say to help her?
I say I also saw that. I saw that guy trip.
He's looking at the other guards. All right. Spend a hope, Raycor, to give a D6. And Echo, you have a separate D6 for advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for a disadvantage, I mean. So yeah, go ahead and give me a presence check.
Echo did. I don't know if she rolled disadvantage yet. Or yeah, she did.
Oh, okay. 17 with fear.
I did. It looks like it was a -2 for disadvantage.
And then
Yep.
it was. And then I gave her a +6. So
So 23 with fear.
23 with fear.
She tries to look sincere, but her face is basically a mask, so not the most helpful.
Instead of taking a fear token, I will give you a point of stress, Echo.
Sounds good.
Her anxiety is flaring really
Yeah.
bad. Authority figures aren't
Probably
aren't
too busy
conducive to-
Probably too busy trying not to show pride that she knocked somebody out from so far away.
The guard looks over. Sir, all of these guards they're kind of just wearing like typical kind of medieval breastplate. They've got like red tabards they're wearing over their armor, except for one of them, which you see there's like some red cloth coming down from the back of him, like out from under the armor, that kind of is behind his legs, kind of flowy red cloth, and he's got the single red sash kind of across his chest to signify he's probably of a higher position. than the other three. Uh, they all have like this kind of kettle helm that has kind of like this uh, facial protection part of it. Uh, he looks over, hears what you're saying, looks at the position the guy's in. So he smacked you in the face and you decided to fall that way. You notice the other three guards are the ones that think Billy did this. The one that's the leader is the one you were looking at Billy, and he's kind of like watching this, looking at the situation. So you fell down on. If he hit you out of nowhere, you wouldn't have you fall in that direction. The guy's like, he hit me so hard I spun around. Man, get this man up. Two of the guys get him up. So, you're out for a jog? What's your name, sir?
Is he talking to Billy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my name's Billy.
Billy. What about you? I'm Gerald. Mind telling me why you're lying, Gerald? Well,
Oh, snap.
I thought. Get the hell out of here. I don't have time for situations like this. Just to know, you're running at full speed. A lot of my men are going to think otherwise, that something happened. Looks at you, Billy, but he doesn't see anything wrong with either of you, though. But is there oh, okay. I'll go home. I'll go home now.
But
Yeah.
I still need to know something from him.
What, you're after
Um,
him? Thought you were just jogging.
I was just jogging. They wanted to question him about orcs that are missing.
Does he take off immediately?
He looks like he's about to. But he's also like there's also two guards behind him, so he might feel like he can't just run until the captain gives the okay for him to.
Please, I need to get information from him, potentially about missing people. It is important.
You're gonna have to give me another presence check. This one's a different situation.
Would it just be straight this time?
Yeah.
Unless you have something that helps you.
No, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a disadvantage.
Oh yeah, you don't have a disadvantage because now he's like, okay, this Billy guy's not really doing anything wrong. He says he's jogging, and he probably landed right into this guy. But then this guy's lying about him being attacked.
Anxiety strikes
Man, I am
again.
rolling bad. That is a 10 with fear.
I'd say you all running amok has caused enough damage. I want you both out of my face. You do not lie to the guard again. Get out of my face. Points to the individual. Yes, sir. Right away.
Before the guy is able to take off, can I use my wild touch ability to like make some of the dirt cling to his clothes?
How does this look like?
Basically I'd like shrug my shoulders while lifting my hands up and
Okay.
doing.
This is
Are you
going
trying
to
to
be a.
do like a breadcrumb thing?
This is a finesse or instinct roll because otherwise they'll notice something.
I'll go with instinct. Come on, dice gods. Mm. Yeah, that's with hope. It's 11.
11 with hope, unless someone has something to help you with.
I'll be a distraction again, because I have hope to spare.
Okay, how do you distract?
I'll ask the guards a question about Gerald was his name.
Yeah?
What? Why are y'all letting him go? He's obviously up to no good.
Alright. Give me a d6.
Wait, before that, I had a thing I wanted to do, and it could be considered giving help. I have telepathy, and I can cast it on anyone I see, and I would like to cast it on Gerald. It lasts until the next time I cast the spell, so I would like to keep a mental line of communication open with Gerald for as long as I please.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
That's a 15.
Are you saying anything immediately, or are you just keeping it up?
Just opening it for right now. I will play with it when the guards aren't there. Um, I think I might just be like, hello, Gerald, and see if it gets him to like falter maybe while he's doing his spell. That way
Okay.
I can offer
Would
that
you?
d6.
Okay. Go ahead and spend a hope and roll a d6. Uh,
Ooh.
Ooh.
all
I'm
right.
not good at that, sorry.
Well, the highest
Ignore
is a
the
4
d8 and I'm
from
guessing the second d6.
this. Well, we're going for Raycors. Uh, well, well, they're both 4s.
Yeah.
Both Echo and Raycor, so it doesn't matter. It's a 4, so that's a total of 15, which just makes it. Billy, what is exactly you're doing again?
Cleaning some of the dirt that's on the ground where he fell to his shirt or his clothes, making sure it sticks to him.
All right, and
Oh,
what's the
actually,
feature?
no. I would be doing from my own clothing. It's Wild Touch. You can perform harmless, subtle effects that involve nature at will, causing flowers to grow rapidly, summoning slight gusts of wind, start a fire, etc.
Okay,
Making some of the dirt from me cling onto him.
okay. Uh, I guess what I want to ask is, what are you hoping to get, so that I can help you along with this
I'm
too.
hoping to get a scent that I can track later.
Okay, okay, like a scent from you since it was attached to you.
Yep.
Very well. All right. You indeed are able to like pass like kind of whatever like dirt or whatever wild like sense or material is attached to you to kind of cling to him, and all without the guards noting as Raycor kind of distracts them, and then Echo says something. There's a little stutter with the guy, so you attach to him, but they do let the guard go. I mean, they do let Gerald go. All right,
Okay.
you all out of here. I don't want to see another moment of trouble from any of you. And you, saying he's up to something? I deal with drunks and all kinds of people all the time. Some people just get mad to cause problems for others. I'd say you all strangers look like you're probably causing trouble, but I can't judge that. So, good day. The 4 guards move along on their patrol.
And Jeremy is taken off.
Gerald has taken, yeah.
Gerald.
However,
I'd like to.
there's one person who has not been a part of the conversation the guards did not see. I'd like to know what Kroll has been doing.
So Kroll, for the most part, as soon as he kind of started to hear things were going like not quite great for everybody talking, Kroll decided to peel off and go back up and get it his vantage point again, and waited until he watched him go and probably turned around a corner. At that point, Kroll would like to shadow step into his corner, into his shadow, and try to pin the guy up against the wall and keep him. Well, not necessarily pin, but well, maybe yeah, to make sure he doesn't continue running.
I'm also on the roof. Can we like get on either side of him?
Oh, I thought you said you were climbing down to meet them.
Oh, I didn't think I did that.
I think that was Kroll. I think Kroll was saying he went back up.
Yeah, I said that I was going to go.
Okay.
I went down, but then I'm like, okay, this isn't going well. So he kind of found his went back up into a perch or something.
Gotcha. Okay.
Someplace
then
that he can get a vantage point.
both Quilbert and Kroll are there, and I'll imagine you guys see where he disappears off to.
At which point, I would like to use Shadow Step to appear in the guy's shadow, or try to appear in front of him in like the shadow of an aisle or an alleyway or something.
Very well. And what about you, Quilbert?
I'd like to just kind of get over the rooftops so I can be behind him, so that we effectively like cut him off in an alley somewhere.
This is the scene I'm picturing. So he begins to slow down, believing he got away. He's made enough turns, but you guys have been following him via rooftops. Suddenly, without him knowing, behind him in his shadow, the ribbit appears. And dropping from in front is Quilbert. What do you do too? The guy gets startled.
We'd like to have a talk with you, sir.
I don't know anything.
Cry out, and I will not hesitate to make you regret it. And at that point, he kind of, can I like ready something, like just for like intimidating presence, kind of, because I would like to somewhat ready Rain of Blades to kind of just look like I have hovering blades ready to attack him.
Okay. And what does this look like, the hovering blades? Like, what does it look like when you use this ability? Do they conjure in thin air, or is it something that, like, or is it kind of a rain of blades to where you kind of just throw 1,000 daggers from your cloak in an instant?
So the Rain of Blades, he kind of like whips his cloak back, and I guess at this point 2, I guess maybe. Throwing blade. I don't know. It looks like 4 kunai are spinning not kunai, shuriken are spinning rapidly above him. Just hovering there because it says they conjured throwing blades. So.
Oh.
Cry out.
I wouldn't make him mad.
Do not cry out. We just wish to talk.
We just want to know what you were talking about with our friend earlier.
We're gonna need a check here. He looks like he's debating on answering or not at all. You're not sure if he's gonna take a risk or if he's gonna comply. So,
should I spend the hope for that or no? Because I'm not actually throwing it.
I will say, because you're trying to bluff, right?
Yes. I mean, I could use Deaf Deceiver.
I don't think until you actually use the ability, like to actually do the Rain of Blades, like damage stuff.
Okay.
I don't think you have to spend a hope for it. No, I think this is fine as like a scare tactic.
Alrighty.
But what skill check? One of you needs to make it, but the other can help. Would you like to use? Something along the line to intimidate. Do you believe that's presence? I believe that's presence.
Could I do it with finesse using my control over my blades,
It'd be a higher DC.
like showing? Okay.
I could try with strength because I don't have another hope to spend on a help action.
I
Okay.
have hope I can spend for you.
All right. You want to use strength? So in this case, what do you do to show off your physical power that intimidates him?
Is there anything like in the alleyway?
There's like a empty crate,
Empty crate.
wooden crate. Aside from it, it's like stone, like base of like buildings with like the rest of it being wood. That
Okay.
opens.
Did he say anything before this check happened? Besides just like
No.
Okay.
Well, aside from, I don't know anything.
Well, if you didn't know anything, I don't know if you'd be running that fast. And then I look like I'm gonna put my foot up on it and like lean on my knee, and I just obliterate the crate. Hopefully, like crush it under my foot without looking like I used my body weight at all.
Okay, give me a strength check. And Kroll, you can spend a hope to assist him. Since
I
you
did,
have
and I rolled a 6.
and a 6. Ooh, that's a good one. Since you have those shurikens kind of hovering above him, ready to strike. Well,
Oh, I need to say roll, not just 2d12.
it's 2d12, and then you add your strength to it.
Got it. It's a 19 with hope.
And that's a 25. 25 with hope. Okay. There was a mage fellow in red. He came to Shield Garden and told me to keep a lookout for for you all. Well, more importantly for two people of descriptions, and he describes Echo and Raycor to you. They
He describes who?
he describes
You're cutting
Echo.
it, but again.
He describes Echo and Raycor. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
He said he described Echo and Raycor. He said he was just supposed to see what they're talking about, see where they go at night, and then at some point, someone would be sent to him. He was paid 3 handfuls of coin for this, and was promised more if the information was good.
Not a bad bit of coin.
I think I'm gonna just look to Kroll and like defer to
I'm gonna defer to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So as he keeps the shuriken spinning, he kind of takes a couple steps closer towards him.
Oh, oh.
You don't know who hired you?
He, he's some sort of mage from Keldaris. That's all I know.
Red robe, 2 bodyguards.
They
Ring a
were,
bell?
They were armored, yeah.
How long ago was
Where's your drop? Where's your meetup point?
He said he would send someone to check in on me. He didn't say where.
And how long ago was this meetup that you had the first time?
It was 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago.
At this point, Kroll will kind of. He's going to croak really loudly. And considering he's kind of hoping that that Echo and Rancor and Billy kind of are able to hear it and hopefully get the hint to come find him.
We'll say it's a really high DC. Because there are enough buildings between you and them. Because they lost track of where he went. Minus they have a couple of ideas, you know.
All right, then I
Echo
won't
has
really.
a mind link with him, and Billy has basically put a particular scent on him. So if you're trying to alert them to the presence, it also is a chance you can get other things' attention.
Yeah, I'll hold off on that then. But I'll look over to Will and say, "Hey, Thorn, do you have this guy? I'll go get our friends real quick. Make sure
I don't
he
think he's gonna
sits
go anywhere.
quietly. Make sure he sits down quietly."
No, please. Please, I told you everything I know. Please.
Just calm down. It's all gonna be okay. We're not gonna hurt you. I just want to make sure you don't go anywhere, because our friends might know some things that we don't, and they might ask you some better questions.
Hi.
There
And
was a box for you to sit on. You can sit on the ground if you want to sit.
it's like good cop, bad cop going on here.
He just kind of defeated, sits down, still very wary of the two of you. He just kind of sits down up against the wall.
So what happens? I take a stress to use the mark of stress to disappear from where you. Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
can mark stress
I
event.
gained a stress. Okay.
I'll
I'm
also
going
sit next to him to not seem too threatening.
Considering you're the one that made the roll.
Yeah.
He's threatened at both of you.
I mean, when you're jumped like that. Oh, by the way, when just before he used his shadow step, he looks to Quill and says, "Don't tell the others just yet." And then he literally sinks into his own shadow and vanishes
All right.
before popping up. But
Where does he pop up?
that was when that was how he caught the guy. Just before he went into the alley to stop the guy.
Very well.
So my question is, does Echo now have the information we just got through the telepathic link because he said it out loud?
Echo
like
gets.
that's up to-
Oh God, I'm gonna die. No, Echo does not get any useful information. She's just getting like the terror from this guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I necessarily get surface thoughts. I think it's more like what he would think back at me. It was more, even if he got away, I could question him wherever he is.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
So
Have the guards left us by now?
they have.
Okay, so yeah, she'd be like, "Hello, Gerald."
Yeah, Kroll just walks out of the alley.
Gerald screams
Uh,
suddenly, Quilbert. Ah!
Just look concerned at him. You okay?
You just, no. You hear back, who is this? Is, is, or is this how you're, wait, are you here about the job?
Mm.
Yes.
You don't sound like him.
We have many of us. What did you learn?
Give me a presence roll to deceive.
So much lying with her lately.
Well,
Could I
to
give
deceive
a
that you are. Well, you're technically not lying, but well, it's a presence roll regardless.
hope?
Who? Give a hope.
Kroll.
Uh, unless
Or
you are
is she
there
is
helping.
she,
If you're either there with Gerald or with her, I'd say no. You cannot assist.
okay? Because I
I
was
did
going to
pretty
go
good
get
though.
those two.
That would be a 17 with hope.
3.
Hey, I did as you asked. But I got, I, they know. They got caught. I got caught, okay? They, 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 they're basically interrogating me right now. I, can you help me? I do more work for you if I don't die.
Well, you have been proving very useful so far, Gerald. What do you know?
Oh,
What did you tell them? And what haven't you told them?
well, I they know. They know I've been. They know I've been interested in their conversations. Uh, they talked about that they're looking for some researchers who have gone missing, like specifically an orc. Uh, I know I know the particular tavern they stay at. I know the restaurant they eat at. Like you said, you wanted me to follow them when they arrived. But they made friends. They made other friends with three other folks. I thought I was just gonna be the two, and that Clank really creeps me out.
Well, some people have no appreciation for art. What haven't you told them? What secrets? Tell me the secrets you've been keeping for us, so that I know we can trust you with more.
I they don't know what part of Caldors you're from. He says that with a question mark. They might. I think they got everything out of me. I don't know. I'm blanking.
Well, it sounds like my predecessor didn't trust you with much, and therefore I shouldn't either. If you're not going to offer me anything of equal value, then you can deal with them.
What? No, no, please. I don't know anything. Please, you gotta help me. Gilbert, you just hear him scream again. Ah!
I I put my hand on his shoulder to be like, "Are you okay?"
Ah! Freaks out more. uh, where does Kroll go?
Well, I was going to get Echo, Rancor, and Billy.
All right, you
He's
show
just
up.
kind of.
You show up near their area. Cause is it anywhere, any place, any shadow, or does it have to be one you have to see?
Oh, I don't use the shadow to
Okay, so you're moving on foot, going
Yeah.
to find them. Gotcha.
So
During that time,
I was trying to be quick about it too, but
Echo is currently not focused on the surroundings as she's in like a mental conversation with someone. But Raycor and Billy, you both see Kroll come out of the shadows.
Have you been stalking?
we got him.
Oh, good. Then I don't have to track him down after all.
We got him, and he has some interesting information. He was sent to look for, follow, and gather information about you two. He points to Echo and Rancor. And I think he soiled himself. I'm not entirely sure.
Do you still have it?
Yes, Quilbert is holding on to him right now.
Okay.
Is she okay? And he
She's
points.
doing her thing. Yeah. She does this every once in a while. It's something with her abilities.
Software updated.
Reboot. Well, if you would like, I can lead you to him. He's a little skittish, cause as I said, well, we scared the crap out of him. It was priceless.
Sounds good. Echo, you want to come with us and talk to him in person?
I think she's gonna say one last thing before she cuts telepathy off, and that's just gonna be, Gerald, you better pray that they take pity on you, because we won't if we have to see you again. And then she's just gonna cut the feed, so to speak. And hopefully that will help impress upon him to spill his guts to everyone.
Quilbert, you see him just turn pale.
And smell something.
And you smell something.
I just look him over, and in this situation, Gilbert's not exactly sure what to do. So he's just like,
just kind of shrugged and it's like, I really don't know what to do here, but I can't keep. I
yeah.
have to keep you here.
Oh, I lead them back then.
You just hear him whisper to himself, Quilbert, "I'm gonna die."
Well, you're not gonna. Well, Pearl maybe. I'm not gonna kill you.
As they walk back, Echo will explain that he thought she was an ally and that she's not going to talk, so he doesn't recognize the voice. But what little she heard, and basically what to work on prying out of him. Like that he does know from what area of Calderis that dude is, and therefore we should get that information and, stuff like that. Or at least that's what it sounded like from what she got from him.
Yeah, unless you want to wish to make an instinct roll to like insight it.
Well, because he said they don't know where in Calderis you're from, which kind of implies that he does and he didn't tell us, right? Or is as a person understanding that wrong?
Well, it depends. Do you think he is hiding stuff from your party and does know where they are in Calderis, or is he like realizing he spilled all the beans and he's like, they don't know, as like a question mark, as if he knows or not. So I think that's up
He
to
was
you.
trying to cover his own butt, but he already realized that he spilled the beans.
I think I will make an instinct roll if you're cool with it, just to see how I would interpret what he said, because now I'm not sure.
Yeah, go for it. $12. The DC was 10.
Nice. And another hope. There's so much hope I gotta use.
He doesn't know where in Caldaris it is. He just realized everything he said to basically his employer was that he revealed everything to you guys about his employer and was maybe trying to say they don't know where, as if trying to add one good thing to all the bad, but he has no idea.
So he was basically bragging about how little he knew to have spilled. I like that.
Yeah. So it was mostly out of fear and like, oh wait a minute. I'm just realizing what I'm saying is bad.
In that case, she will let them know that, yeah, they pretty much already got everything useful out of him. She couldn't get any more.
But you also don't know how they're going to communicate to him, too. He doesn't know. So,
Did he say how he's been contacted in the past?
He did say that he wasn't sure how he's going to get contact in the future, but I don't think he said about the past.
He had been met with by the wizard and 2 other guards. That's as much as we know.
Oh, right.
If he doesn't know how he'll be contacted, that implies that someone's keeping an eye on him, unfortunately.
I say that we let him go, but we stake out where he's at and keep eye on his house.
I can do that easily.
all right. And I believe that's where we're going to end our session.
Okay.
Good job, guys. And not much, nothing combat, but what'd you guys think?
Really good.
I like
A
it.
lot of intrigue. Pretty good.
I was trying
We-
really hard
That
not
was
to
fun.
hurt the guy.
We got him, guys.
And yeah, you didn't hurt him. Echo's the one who hurt him.
Yeah, but
Snap.
I was looking at everything I could do. Like, I could have entangled him with vines or something, but all of it does physical damage. I don't want to accidentally kill him.
I think I think there's a way. I think you can always say like, you know, I want to do
Non-lethal.
non-lethal, which would be like I want it to do just 1 point of damage, and that would be not enough for a normal person, right? They can be bruised, but not like, you know, hurt that they're in threat of dying.
Right.
But what'd you guys think of the Daggerheart stuff? I know we didn't get to everything. This is just the first sesh. For, well, 3 of you. For Echo and Raycor,
think-
it's the third.
I think it feels good. The open fear kind of makes it so that there's more than just you win or
Succeed or
lose, and
fail.
it incentivizes action because you might get hope back. Is what I noticed.
Yeah.
I was seeing, because we did 2 other sessions, not a lot of people spent a lot of hope, but I was seeing like hope get thrown around for assisting people. I'm like, I kind of like that.
Yeah. I think some of that is I've gotten more used to the system the more we've played it, and that's why I've been sitting on full hope since those last couple sessions where I didn't have as many opportunities or I didn't think of it.
Yeah.
And so now.
And then Echo able to spend her hope on stuff because she instead just takes stress to activate her like like her mage hand stuff and her other
Right.
features.
I'm just glad I
The
got
the adept with my school of knowledge that helps me with the market stress and get to roll double on experience.
That's what it was. Yeah, that
Oh
was
yeah.
pretty good.
I'm just
Yeah,
excited I got to use my shadow step.
that was pretty cool.
I was picturing in my head, it was like, okay, these two guys are on the rooftops. The ribbon's going to catch up to him, and you're basically like stalking him, right?
Yeah.
Teleporting to him. And I was just like, you know what? Because he's able to do that, he's able to be there and surprise the guy, but also just a big sea urchin guy just crashing down in front of him. So you both are just flanking the guy.
Hmm.
It's like, there's nowhere you can go. This is an alleyway of some sort.
I'm appreciating the
Yeah. We're
capacity of
also
sheer
both
menace that
trained.
is telepathy.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
This
Just
this guy
I
just
got
love
hands
that
mental
on like
interrogations.
it's so open-ended too, because it literally just says you may open a line of mental communication with one target you can see. This connection lasts until you use the spell to connect with another creature.
yeah, I was
So
not
yeah, you
expecting
just
that.
slap it on somebody, and anywhere they go until you use it again, it's just like, so, how you doing, Gerald?
Audible screaming in the distance. Loved it, and I know for Echo and Raycor, I've done two combats. Well, I've only done one combat. One of them was completely avoided. Uh, they did one combat sesh, so I was like, okay, let's do something different. Something that's a little bit different is a chase. So I was just messing around with my own take on what a chase is.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about using the fear for him to like throw stuff behind him, but then I was like, we're gonna make it guards. I do like
I,
the excuse because as a GM, I can always throw things in there, but I do like that there's an excuse to do it, right? Whether
Yeah.
because sometimes
yeah.
as a GM, I can always be like, is this overkill? Is this too much? Obviously, if you set off in a big alarm or something and there's a lot of enemy soldiers, sure. But in this case, what could randomly happen? A random encounter in your encounter. Let's just throw some
Right.
guards. Spend. It gives me an excuse to say I spend one fear. Take a GM move to do something weird. If Echo did not succeed in knocking the guy to the ground, I could have spent a fear and made the guy just like throw stuff behind him to slow Billy down. But Billy also is able to float. I could possibly just bypass whatever he throws in front of him anyway.
No.
We all float down here, Billy.
But yeah, I had fun. Can't wait to do another combat sesh. Not sure if that'll be the next session or not. But I like how we got something going now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to next week.
I am too.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Same.
Hell yeah.
For you peepers up on YouTube, if you guys watch this, I don't know if anyone actually watches this, but you know, for anyone it is, we're glad you were here. I hope you had fun.